cut, just a truth and liar. She been through the fire, now she feed that flame. Laugh through the pain, but she still got game. Everyday life with a twist and a grin. Tears, truth, jokes, but he'll begin. She break it down real, never play pretend. Take heed to the messages, lessons through the lens. She built from the stars, turned all them L's and twist to Mars. Ain't here to preach, just here to relate. She done fell in the cracks, now she shifting the fate. Every slip was set up for her next prize. Not your poor truth with a joke on the side. No filth, no fluff, just soul in the mix. Every story got a gem, every laugh got a fix. She went and whacked from hard right to hustle, from crying in the dark to finding the muscle. So if you watch your fellas, open your ears, cause the realest lessons come wrapped in them tears. Take heed to the lessons, you gon' feel this vibe. Real talk, no cut, just the truth and liar. She been through the fire, now she feed that flame. Laugh through the pain, but she still got game. Everyday life with a twist and a grin. Tears, truth, jokes, where the hill begin. She break it down real, never play and pretend. Take heed to the lessons, lessons through the lens. She said how it is, no shook, no mask. My girls feel with love, but it's all gonna last. It's life uncut with a side to grace. She a voice in your ear when the world's in your face. So laugh if you want, cry if you need. But one thing for sure, you gon' take heed. Cause she been through the mess, now she blessed in the proud. With truth in the chest, and the head still proud.
Shout out to Corey Joe for the amazing intro. Shout out to that brother. 1000 Watts Radio. Y'all don't forget, check this brother out. His content is amazing, honey. The music will have you just dancing all in the kitchen. Y'all listen, we gonna get into some foolery today because the news that our community got is backwards, okay? And most of the time, I be right along with the foolery, okay? Because, research. We don't do research. So I be right along with the foolery sometimes too. And then I have to come back and say, I said it wrong. Let's get to the nitty gritty. You know what I'm saying? And I see a lot of famous content creators that I follow that they did not do the research, but they said they did the research, but they're lying. So a couple of them that I follow, I sent them like the real information, right? And you do not see them retract the statement. You don't see them fix anything. They still running with the narrative that the sheriff deputy that got hit by the father is the same. They trying to make it like the cop, that he was the cop that deleted the son. And he was not. He was a retired officer. All he was doing was directing traffic, okay, for a college. That's all he was doing. He was a retired deputy sheriff. And so people on social media like, yeah, this was jungle justice, okay? And so I'm here to tell y'all this is not jungle justice. It's not. Because the father did not take out the man who deleted his son. He took out someone else from a different department. So when you see all those people standing in the back, right, when the father was at the courthouse, those were sheriff deputies. Those were not police officers, okay? So they were in solidarity, and there were black people there as well. There were black women standing there. They listen, they were all in solidarity because they love this sheriff deputy who passed away. He had nothing to do with what happened to Ryan. He had nothing to do. Now, the truth is that 2 hours after the father found out, now, this happened 2 days ago, but he found out 2 hours before he went and hit that deputy about what happened to his son. So could this be some emotional type of thing that the father could lean on when it comes to trial? Probably so, because it was 2 hours before. 2 hours after he learned what happened to his son. So probably so. But I'm going to share something with y'all, and this is heartbreaking because we are ready for jungle justice. We are ready for jungle justice in the black community. And I'm going to share something with you. A lot of your sons will go and be sent to glory. Because if you're ready for jungle justice, a lot of your sons in our communities, in the melanated communities, have pumped drugs into the community. People have died. They have had weapons in the community where children have passed away. So if we're ready for jungle justice, you turn it on your own first. If you are ready for jungle justice, turn it on your own first. Because there are a lot of our people who deleted innocent children in our community. So turn it on your own first. Now I know that's harsh. I know y'all like take heed, wait a minute. But this is the uncomfortable truth. Because why are we happy that the father deleted an innocent man? He had nothing to do with it. He is retired. He doesn't even deal with anything with the police department. He has been rocking with the college, doing things with the college for God knows how long since he retired. Okay? He just retired. But he's been on beat at the college, I think they said 4 years. At the college. So he hasn't been walking around doing stuff and this and that. He's been always at this college. This is heartbreaking. And to see our community like, yeah, this is jungle justice. This is good. And why is Takey saying this? Because the black community, you don't know what jungle justice is. You don't know. You don't know what jungle justice is. This is why y'all running around with this narrative. Oh yeah, this is jungle justice. It's not. It is not jungle justice. Now, before we get into the foolery, let me greet my crowd. Thank you to all the regulars who always come in and rock with me, even if it's just for a little bit. Steven, Green Beans, how are you? 18, what's up, baby? Daniel, how you doing? And Jay Laurel, what's going on, sir? Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming to rock with me, even if it's just for a little bit. Now, I forgot to even say my introduction. Good morning. Thank you for tuning into my channel called Take Heed to the Message with Abang Anwa. It just means queen. So we are going to discuss something that is horrible today, just like yesterday. So trigger warning, everybody. If you are in your feelings, scroll up because this gonna be nasty. And some of y'all may not agree with what I'm saying, and that's fine. We will agree to disagree. Okay? Now, the father's father, okay, was at the press conference with the mother's side of the family. And the father, to me, the grandfather, was the only one that had a sound mind. So the grandfather raised his son, okay? His son raised his son, the one who went and deleted the sheriff deputy. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So I want to be able to say their names right because yesterday I was messing up the name and stuff like that. So I want to be able to say the name right. The father name is Roderick. Am I saying that correctly? Let me just make sure because I want to say Rodney. Rodney is the name. Let me just make sure. hmm Let me just make sure because yesterday I was seeing his name Rodney. Rodney Hilton. Hinton. Rodney Hinton Jr. is the father of the young man Ryan Hinton. Okay. And so the grandfather is senior. Okay. Rodney Hinton Sr. And he was at the press conference with the young man's mother. Okay. And he was talking about forgiveness. He said what he saw in the video that the police showed them the body cam. Okay. What he saw was two scared people. He said, I saw my grandson that was scared when he fell down to the ground. I also saw a scared officer. He said, I want to say my condolences to the officer's family. The grandfather said this. He said, I saw two scared people in a bad situation. My grandson should have never been there. My grandson should have never been in a stolen car. Do I agree with the grandfather? He's right. I agree with the grandfather. He's correct. The grandson should have never been there. Another thing, the father, let me make sure because I want to say the name right because yesterday I was doing nonsense yesterday. I was messing up this man's name. Okay. So I want us to understand Rodney, okay? Rodney was raised by a man of substance. You can tell. He was raised by a man of substance. Okay? Rodney Jr. has never been in trouble. He doesn't have a criminal background. He has never done anything crazy. He has a job, a career. He has a wife. He has a family. Okay? So that means, okay, this is what it means. I'm still saying it wrong. Ryan, the boy who was 18, is a child that was made when he was young. Okay? And so now he done got older, got sense, got married, had more children. Okay? So more than likely, he did not raise Ryan. And only why I'm looking at the mama. I was looking at the mama family. So I'm looking at, we may have a case of, this is my child. I do whatever I want to do with my child. I'm going to raise my child however I want to raise my child. Okay? So more than likely, Roderick Jr., no, Rodney, I'm still saying his name wrong. Rodney Hinton Jr. may not have a strong force in Ryan's life. Okay? Because us mothers, especially us melanated mamas, we raise these boys and we believe we can raise them into men. So now when the boy is getting out of hand, when Ryan was getting out of hand, this is all alleged. This is what it looks like to me. So when Ryan was getting out of hand, okay, more than likely, now she wants Rodney to pay more attention to Ryan. Now, mind you, Ryan probably was already out there doing nonsense, and it was too late for Ryan to even bring this boy in, okay? Because when we keep these men out of these children's lives, this is the nonsense that happens to them when they become grown. This is all alleged. It may not be. But how is it that the grandfather is an upstanding man? The son is an upstanding man, and then the grandson is a problem. You understand? So where I'm seeing there's a gap in the raising, because Rodney he's married and he has children. Now this probably his oldest child. He's not married to the mama. He's not married to Ryan's mama. Okay? So now, or either what it looks like, she doesn't carry his last name. More than likely they're not married. I heard now this is just my perspective. It may not be true. But when I heard the mother's side of the family, when I heard the grandmother speak, I said, okay, this is an alpha female. Now, we know alpha female doesn't exist, but this is she is has masculine tendencies, the grandmother. And you can tell she raised I don't need no man, men ain't shit, and this and that type of daughter. You can tell. Now this is alleged. This may hurt you. You may be offended. Listen, that's your business, okay? But this is what I'm seeing. And I will share the videos with y'all. I thought I did, but I'll share them with y'all in our community tab of what I seen in the family press conference, okay? I'm just trying to paint a picture of what it looks like to me. When you see family members, right? Okay, this is just from what I know in my background and my career of what I see when I see people come up to me. And I know that it's wrong for us to assess people like this, but from what I see, it looked like the boy just had a troubled youth and no guidance, okay? And the father didn't have a strong hand in his life, okay? Because of our sisters talking about, that's my child, I can do whatever I want to do. You ain't gonna tell me what to do with my kid. That's what it looks like to me, okay? Now, anybody else can assess it the way you want. When I look at parents, right? I look at parents and you see the way they look, just by the way they look and the way they talk, you know that these children are being raised properly. I'm just saying, okay? Like, check this out. If Take Heed came and had to do a press conference, right? Okay? Say I had to do a press conference, God forbid, but something happened with my kid. And I dressed how I always dress when I'm on live, right? Okay? You would say the child comes from an upstate. You may not, you may, okay? It's your decision. But if you saw me, you would say the child is being raised, you know what I'm saying, in an upstanding home. I'm just saying. But if you saw me come up there and I'm looking crazy, I'm not looking, I'm not dressed up. I'm not, I'm looking like I'm sitting on the porch. Okay. You will look and say, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? You judging people by how they look. Now, sometimes, check this out. Black people can fool you as well, because sometimes we'll throw on our shit and you don't know you don't know which way to go unless when they start talking. When they start talking, then you understand something is wrong. Good morning, Mr. He said, how are you? Leonard, good morning. How you doing? Thank you for coming. Just if you stopping in, I appreciate it. Please, guys, hit the like and subscribe button if you feel the content. So the thing is that you can tell how children are raised just by how the parents behave. I'm not being nasty. I'm not being mean, but it's the truth. You can tell how children are being raised just by looking at the parents and the way that they talk. So now, and then let me be clear, because I want to be clear on this. I'm not saying the cop is justified in deleting Ryan. I want y'all to understand that. I cannot get up here and say he was justified at all. Do you understand? Because remember, Ryan fell to the floor. Ryan fell to the floor. I can't get in here and be like, oh, he's justified in deleting this boy. No, I can't. I cannot. But I wanted Ryan to stop. That's what I wanted. I wanted Ryan to just, okay, you fell on the floor. That's it. Don't run. Just lay there. Let these other idiots run. You fell to the floor. Ryan could have also dropped the gun in the car. Allegedly, if he had the gun, he could have dropped the gun in the car. Who would have knew that it was Ryan's gun? You know what I'm saying? Allegedly, if it was his gun, who would have knew? It was inside the car. I'm just giving a little tidbit of my own. I'm just saying. I just wish he would have stopped. That's all. I'm not saying the cop was justified. I don't want y'all to think that, because this boy is one of our own sons. I'm not saying it was justified at all. You understand? Hey, Malik, how are you? So now, this is the uncomfortable truth. Ryan was scared. The cop was scared. And this is another thing. All this training that these cops have, why are you scared? You know what I'm saying? Why are you scared? All the training that y'all have, why are you scared? And this is when you got to understand, how long has this cop been on the force? Why are you terrified? You know what I'm saying? Is there another way you could have subdued him? You know what I'm saying? Like, older cops that are more wiser, they'll say, okay, you know what? Let me hit him somewhere where I could at least just get him down. You know what I'm saying? Not delete him. So this is the thing. Both incidents are horrible. Even with the sheriff deputy who had nothing to do with this case, nothing. He worked at the college. He was retired. He had nothing to do with this mess. Okay? And then you have the police department who had everything to do with this mess. None of them got hurt. But the sheriff department is mourning a man who did training, who went to seminars, who helped other young sheriff department officers and stuff like that. He just was a man that just mind his business. They said he was a kind and caring man. This man had a family. He had children. He was retired. He did not deserve to die. I want you to understand that. He will not get in here and be like, what the father did was right. No. When y'all get in here and say this is jungle justice, hey Mimi, when you get in here and say this is jungle justice, it is not. Because the father, if you want to say jungle justice, he was supposed to go after the cop that deleted his son. Not saying he should. Take heed to the message, is not supporting violence. Not saying anybody should go after the cop. But I'm saying that's what jungle justice is. Malik, I hope I greeted you. How are you, honey? So that's just my take on it. Anybody can feel the way they want to feel. If you disagree, that's, we just going to have to agree to disagree. You understand? We'll have to agree to disagree. So now let's get into the first video. Okay, Malik, thank you. So let's get into the first video of this dissection. It's heartbreaking. Officer Tatum came with some hard stuff. I couldn't do it. Now I'm gonna play him too, but it was painful because he was calling this young man some names, and I'm not gonna call Ryan no names. I'm not gonna be in here calling Ryan any names. The boy has passed on to glory. I'm not gonna do all that. But what I will say is that I just wish that Ryan would have not ran. But in the press conference with the family, one of the cousins got up there and he cried so hard, y'all. He said that Ryan should have never been there because Ryan was calling him around 12, 12:01, 12:06, calling him to come to his house so that he could sleep over, okay? Ryan had a bed over there at his cousin's house, Okay, so Ryan didn't live with the mama. Okay, so the cousin was so sleep, like you, I guess working or whatever, that he missed the calls, he missed the texts, and that's why Ryan was sleeping in this stolen vehicle with his friends. So the cousin blames himself now that he wished he would have answered the phone because Ryan would have never been in that situation with his friends. He would have never been caught in that foolery. The cousin cried so hard, y'all. The thing is that no one will tell me that they didn't talk to Ryan about hanging with these certain people or doing certain things. Ryan probably, and I'm not being nasty and it's painful for me to say, but Ryan probably was doing foolery. He was doing foolery. And only why I say that is because the grandfather is an upstanding man. The father is an upstanding man. And now you have the grandson that is in the streets. And more than likely, it looks like a situation of not the mama. And y'all know what I mean when I say not the mama. Shout out to Mr. He Said. You know what I mean when I say not the mama. Because mama will get in here and say, it wasn't because of me that the child is in the street. But all the while, when the child was young, she told the father, that's my baby. You're not going to do what you want to do with my baby. You can't take my baby nowhere, this and that. That's what it looked like to me. Now, I might be wrong, but we going to see. Okay? So, the first foolery of the morning that we going to get into, and it was painful, is the family talking. We going to get into the press conference of the family talking, and it was painful, y'all. So shout out to WCPO 9 News. Okay, fair use, fair use. We gonna get into the foolery, okay? But before we do, I see Reggie B. Reggie B, thank you for the $10 super chat. Can't stay too long at work. Want to support Take Heed for telling it like it is. Reggie B, thank you so much. Before we get started, let me just acknowledge the super chat because I was messing up yesterday and not acknowledging the super chat on time, and so I messed up on who did what. Okay, so check this out. Rod Manger, he is a comedian, okay? And he said Cheryl Underwood said to him this. Check this out.
Said I could lay in her bed and she would give me some head. But do you know why she's not my type? Cause I only like white girls. Girl Underwood said I could lay in her bed and she would give me some head. But do you know why she's not my type? Cause I only like white girls.
That's terrible, right? He says Cheryl Wood said she would give me some head, but I only like what? What he say? I only like white girls. That's terrible. So I wanted to share that with y'all. That was a new clip that I found on IG. Reggie B, thank you for the $10 super chat. Now let's get into the foolery, the sad foolery, y'all. So y'all hear the family, and you gonna hear them discuss this thing in its whole form, and you gonna hear the sadness in everybody's voice, and you're going to hear the grandfather, that he's the only one that has a strong mindset. You will hear the grandfather, okay? Let's get into it. Here we go.
Coming out, my name is Michael Wright, attorney Michael Wright. I'm going to introduce attorney Fanon Rucker, attorney Robert Gresham, attorney Anthony Pearson. I'm going to introduce mom, who is Tori Jackson, grandma, which is Tanya Larkin, and dad, which is Rodney Hinton, grandfather, excuse me. We're here because we represent the estate of Ryan. We're not here to talk about the incident that occurred with the police officer. We do offer our condolences to the officer and his family, but we were hired to represent this family to investigate the police-involved shooting of their son, Ryan.
Okay, pause. This is not a drill.
Sorry, commercial first, y'all. It's coming back. So that is just the attorneys for the estate. You know, sometimes when young people pass away, or not pass away, but get deleted, right? And they find out that it was no reason for the child to be deleted. Some states, you have to pay the family for the child. I guess it's sad what I'm about to say, but for the child's worth. Ain't that crazy? I had heard that years ago. I was like, what? When they're young. Okay. So some states, if it was wrongly, right, the family can sue the state because of the span of the child's life. I was surprised when I had heard that years ago. But anyway, let's continue.
This family is very upset about what occurred. Kind of walking you through what happened is on Friday morning, we met with the police chief of Cincinnati, and we viewed the body cam video of what happened with the police-involved shooting with Ryan. We stayed at the chief's office for about an hour and a half, and what we saw was disturbing. The family was upset, as you can imagine, watching your son, watching your...
Oh, no. I didn't say, I hope I'm saying that right. I wasn't saying that the child doesn't have any, all children have potential. I just was telling y'all what I had heard before, that I learned many years ago, that that's what they do if the child was taken out of this world at a young age. I wasn't saying that the child doesn't have, okay? Oh, okay, Mr. He said. I just wanted to make that clear. I wasn't saying that the child didn't. Okay, let's continue. Here we go.
Son, watching your loved one getting shot and killed by the police was
Right.
upsetting to this family. We left out of the police chief's office, and a few hours later, I was made aware that Rodney had an incident with a police officer that resulted in the officer's
Oh,
death.
Stephen, you quick.
But again, we are here because we represent the estate and the police-involved shooting. We're trying to get the family some answers as it relates to what happened with that shooting. We're not here at this point to make any specific allegations, to make any specific determinations as it relates to that police-involved shooting. We are here and we're retained to investigate that shooting. So we'll take any questions.
How will that proceed? What will that look like? What will you review the body camera footage, frame by frame, or talk about the process?
Absolutely. We only saw one angle. We only saw, I believe it was the shooter's body cam. So we requested the records, we requested all the other body cams, we requested the reports, we did the ordinary public records request so that we can really analyze what occurred. I mean, what we saw in the video, it's hard to determine whether or not that officer was in imminent danger or should have thought that they were in imminent danger before they took shots. So we are specifically investigating, that part of this entire tragic situation.
Just right to the person who says Ryan was in a stolen car, had a firearm, according to detectives, and this is what happened. What do you say to that person?
That's correct, but being in a stolen car, having a firearms, we're in Ohio, so you can open carry in Ohio. So that's not a death penalty. Being in a stolen car, having a gun, that doesn't mean that you should be shot and killed.
Just to be clear, are you disputing any of the comments we've heard from the chief, any of the facts that she laid out in that press conference?
Well, I'm not familiar specifically of what facts you're indicating. However, we believe that that this incident should be investigated. It's not as cut and dry as this officer should have just pulled out his gun and shot at Ryan. It's not that cut and dry. So that's why we're doing the records request. We're going to analyze frame by frame each one of these videos to determine why the officer made that deadly decision to shoot and kill Ryan.
The only thing we've heard so far about Ryan has been from police, but a member of the family. Want to step forward and tell us a little bit about him?
Yeah, of course. This is his mother. This is his grandmother, his brother, his father, his grandfather. Tell them your name.
I'm Diamante Jackson. I'm Ryan's big brother. My brother, he was always like a real jokester, playing with everybody. But he was making sure everybody was good. Everybody was on their toes too. Like he was real loving. Like you felt his love through anything he ever did for you. Like just hanging with you, playing the game, playing football. We used to play football outside all the time. Like it was just us, man.
How'd you get the news?
Now I'm gonna share something with you. When y'all hear, I gotta stop because the commercial. When you hear the family and you look at the family and you look at the mama side of the family, okay? You look at the mama side of the family. You immediately understand that this child was not raised properly, okay? I know that's nasty, what I'm saying, but you immediately understand the child was not raised in a stable home. You immediately understand when you see the family. I'm going to share the video with y'all so that you can make the judgment for yourself, okay? You can immediately understand that something was going on in this house, okay? So now let's see what they got to say. Here we go.
So crazy.
It's
cool. It's cool.
Let me say something.
Okay, and this is grandfather.
Hold up. I'm Rodney Hinton Senior. I want to give a condolence out to the officers that got killed. My whole family.
Now this is the grandfather. This is Roderick's father. Okay, Roderick's father. So he is Roderick Senior, and Roderick Junior. This is this is the father. Okay, the grandfather. So now you hear how the way he speak. And you will hear how the way the mother side speaks. Okay, let's continue. Here we go.
Forgiveness, and I've been praying hard for the officer that killed my grandson. I've been praying hard for him and his family because I know he's hurting off this. If I seen in the video about my grandson, I seen two scared people. I seen the officer scared, and I seen my grandson scared. So it's an unfortunate incident that happened. So that's all I seen. It was like, I didn't see the police there trying to kill. No. What I seen was two persons made a mistake. My grandson made a mistake being there, and the officer, he was trying to get back to his family too. So that's what I seen. So it's not about revenge or anything. I have nothing against nobody. You know, my Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ, and I represent him. So with that said, please, everybody, just try to forgive everybody who done anything to anybody.
Mr. Randy, for you, this is a fact-finding mission more than anything to make sure you understand.
Yeah, it's a peace thing for me, for everything, for everybody to heal off this. I want everybody to heal off this. You know, it's just like a mistake. I really feel bad for the officer who was shooting because I can see the scaredness in him too. People can't see it because I'm going spiritual with this now. So I was able to see that God had allowed me to see this part of the accident. You know, just like my son made an accident too. So he made an accident. Just, you know what I'm saying, just trying to just move on now. That's all I'm trying to do on. And I'm praying for the officer and their family. You know?
How hard has this been for your entire family from Thursday into Friday with all of this playing? That's a lot.
It's been hard on my side. I know it's been hard on Tori, because me and Tori, you know, me and her is so tight. We were born on the same day. So God, it's crucial how me and her end up to explain this now. We born on the same day, but different years. You know what I'm saying? So all this was building up to this point. But I was trying to I have to bring the peace to this. There's no violence in this, no revenge.
You're aware there's social media chatter that people in the community might feel a different way?
I don't. I'm being no social media. I don't do no Facebook, nothing. I just rely on the power of God. That's it.
It seems like there's some tensions though based on some of those posts. Do you have like a calming message for those who are concerned over this?
Long live Ryan. Long live Ryan.
So now the grandfather was talking. They asked him a question, you know, and this is why I say the grandmother on the mother's side is an alpha female, because she jumps in the conversation and pulls her way to the front, moves the grandfather out the way. This is from the mother's side. So she jumps in. They didn't ask her anything. They still asking the grandfather on the father's side some questions. And she come in and bum rush the grandfather and comes up to the podium. Okay? So this is why I'm telling y'all this is nonsense here. Okay? So let's continue. Here we go. Here's the grandmother. Okay?
Out to the media and the social media. My name is Tanya Bark, and I am Ryan's grandmother. Ryan was a sweet, gentle giant that played with everybody all the time.
And this is the thing that hurts us in the Black community. Just like when our children do wrong in school, right? Okay, your child is misbehaving in school. You go to the teacher, not my child. My child don't do stuff like that. My child is an angel. My child ain't never done nothing. This is our problem in the Black community. Instead of us calling a spade, okay? Like I tell you something. When he get a call from the school, I know which child it already is. I already know. Now, if it's one of the other ones, I'm like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell the teacher, are you sure? Are you sure it was that one? Yes, I'm sure. I come down to the school. I tell teacher, don't worry, I'm coming. I get down there. And then when I'm talking to one of the daughters, one of the girls, and they'll say, Mama, this is what happened. I don't even listen to the rest of the people. I want to talk to her. So I'm like, what happened? Tell me what happened. Because when you know your children, when you know how they behave, no one can tell you nonsense, okay? Like if you really understand how your children behave, people can't tell you nonsense. There have been times that I remember first time ever I was called for the eldest girl in high school. Our eldest. This girl is the creme de la creme, okay? When I tell you behavior, even from when she was younger, okay? Just smooth, just like her daddy. Creme de la creme, okay? When the teacher called me and said that she was getting nasty with him, he was throwing her out of the classroom and that, I said, okay, I'm coming down to the school. I got my big ass in my car and drove down there to the school. I said, I want to talk to the principal, I want to talk to the counselor, and I want to talk to the teacher. Got up there. They said, give us a few minutes. We're going to get everybody together. I talked to her. I said, what happened? She said, Mama, he said we were talking about political things in the classroom. And I was saying that anybody should have the right to vote whoever they want to vote for. Now, the teacher he's a Democrat, okay? So she has different views from the Democratic Party. So he snapped on her in the classroom about how she said that women should not be deleting their children. That's what she said. Women, because they talked about it, and the other girls in the classroom was like, oh, it's my body, it's my choice. So she said to them, this is what she said. She said to them, well, then that means you supposed to get some type of protection so you don't delete the baby, right? So now he throws her out the classroom because she said that. So now when she tells me, the teacher said, oh, that's not what happened. Let me tell you what happened. She got nasty with me. She got smart. I said, you know what the problem is? If I didn't know this baby, like if I just met her right now, okay, I would believe you. But because I'm her mama, okay, and she has never caused any trouble. I looked at the principal. I said, has my child ever caused any trouble? Do you see any disciplinary actions in her history? He said, no. I said, okay, so now we got the problem. Your teacher is the problem. I said, now, you're not supposed to be talking. This is not a political class. This is English. This is not a political class. Why are you talking political anyway? Everybody have their own judgment of how they think things supposed to go. So why are we doing that? And the principal looked at the teacher. The principal says she's right. The mother is right. You're supposed to be talking about English, nothing else. This is not, this is not a political, like, that's not supposed to be. So I told the principal, I said, you see how this man acting? You see how he acting? He's upset about me coming down here talking to him. I said, I'm going to share something with you. I want my daughter out this class. I want her in another English teacher's class. I want her out this class. And he said, oh, that's not, the principal said, no, the teacher says, oh, that's not called for. I said, no, it's called for because it looks like you want to do some payback to my kid. So it's called for. I want to see her in a new English class. The principal said, I will have it done by the end of the day. I said, thank you. I said, right now she's in his class, so can she sit somewhere until the next class come? And I said, she will not be attending your class until they change her. So whatever you want to give her, give her. First F this child ever got. First F, y'all. This teacher failed her. First F she ever got. Girl always bring home A's and B's. First F she ever got. I said, baby, that's the first quarter. Don't worry about that nonsense. You got 3 quarters to get it together. Don't worry about that foolery. She said, Mama, my grade point average, Mama. I said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He being petty. He being petty. Anyway, only why I'm saying this, y'all, is that you know your children. We know our kids. You got 4 or 5 children. You know which one is the trouble. Nobody has to tell you. You know. Broken Traditions, how are you, sir? You know who is the trouble. So now you hear, and I know I went ranting. I'm sorry for ranting. I know how I do. Now you hear the grandma talking about how amazing the grandson is and this and that, whatever. But did anybody talk to this boy about being in the streets? Did anybody talk to this boy about hanging around certain people? Okay? Did anybody let the father in the child life? Because this is what it looked like. Something is wrong somewhere. There is a miscommunication in the message because the grandfather is an upstanding man. Okay, just by the way he talked and the way he looked, you can tell the grandfather is an upstanding man. Then you have the father who has never committed a crime in his life. He's married. He has children and everything like that. So this man, he has a career. This man was upstanding. Rodney was an upstanding man. Now you have the son, Ryan. You have Ryan. Ryan is doing nonsense. How is it that the grandfather is upstanding, the father is upstanding, and now you have the grandson doing nonsense? So what does that tell you? That tells you Ryan was not raised by his father. That tells you that Ryan was not raised by his father. That we have a case of mama tell you, that's my baby, I'm going to do whatever I want to do, and you ain't going to tell me what to do. That's what it looked like to me. I'm just, going by what I think. Now let's continue. Here we go. So this the grandma. This the alpha female in the house. Black Queen, how are you, baby?
You see all the younger ones? That was a PlayStation buddy. He made it a point to make sure that he played with each and every last one of them whenever he was around them. He included them in the game process. He taught each one of them how to play the game. We are very close family. This is killing us. I can't even express how I feel right now about, I'm angry because it shouldn't have never happened. I want to find out exactly what steps was taken in the protocol. And if everything comes out that it's not what it should have been, we need to do something about change and training and diversity and understanding us as a black culture. We as black people, we don't deserve to be killed just because we're running away from the police. We're scared just as much as they are, whether we did something right or wrong.
Now she right about that. She right about that. we don't deserve to be deleted because we're running. Now she's right about that. I can't change that. She's right about that. So I agree with her on that one. Let's continue.
This is everyday life for us, being scared of the police. Take that in consideration while everybody is making comments on the parent should have did this and the parent should have did that.
Okay, come on. Because I ain't worried about it.
I got what's your name? My name is Marlon. I'm Ryan.
Okay, so Marlon is the one who is going to take all the blame. You're gonna hear he's gonna crack down. You're gonna hear Marlon take all the blame because he did not answer the text or the phone call. He was so sleepy and tired. More than likely, Marlon works. Now, why is this 18-year-old not living in the house with his mama? Nobody asked that question. Why is he not living in the house with his mama? Why is he not in school? Why has he dropped out of school? You know what I'm saying? Why did he? When did he drop out of school? Because they're saying, oh, he just got enrolled into this school just before it got shut down. I don't understand that part. Why wasn't he in school? You know what I'm saying? So that means some point in time, this boy dropped out of school and stopped going to school. So that tells you right there that that was a problem. Now we're gonna say alleged, because the story is getting bigger and we're gonna keep checking it out. Now I ain't hear no more on the other story we was talking about with Carmelo Anthony yet, but when we do, we gonna get into that back again as well. But let's continue. This one gonna take all the blame. Listen to this.
My condolences to everybody involved in this. I just want to say, Ryan, I'm so sorry. God, please watch over the rest of my family. I want to address all the negativity and saying he was something in a stolen car, this and that. Listen, he was supposed to be at home that night and shit. Let me get this out. He had no business being in a stolen car, man. He had a bed to come home to. He slept in a car. He couldn't get in the house. All right. He called me like 6-9 times, like 2012 and one. He called me trying to get in. Text me. And I was asleep. Ryan, I'm so sorry. This was never supposed to happen to you. Ever. I'm so sorry, Ryan. I'm so sorry, Ryan. Just know he wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't. He was scared. He tripped and fell. He must have been so scared. I'm so sorry, Ryan. Just that, like everybody that's talking shit about him, just know he wasn't supposed to be there, y'all. I'm sorry.
Ask you real quick.
Yes.
Do the investigation. Is there a possibility of?
So that is the cousin, okay? So the cousin is taking the blame. This is eating him up. That it was him, that it was because he didn't answer the phone. Now, could that listen, he's telling the truth. Ryan wouldn't have been there if he would have answered the phone. Ryan would have got into the house. Ryan would have been in his own bed and not in a stolen car with his stupid friends and stuff like that. But it happened. So what can we do? But the cousin, I don't want to see the cousin take the blame either. Because Ryan is 18 and yet you grown, you know better. You understand. Go to the house, knock on the door, bang the door down. You know what I'm saying? Hit the windows, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you have family members who sleep hard. Sometimes you got to bang, 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 bang. You know what I'm saying? Until you get in the house. But my understanding is, just for me, that's what I would have done. I would have went to the house, banged the door down. Somebody would have answered. I would have banged the door down just to get in the house. I would not have been in a stolen car with my friends. Anyway, let's continue. Here's the lawyer talking now.
Or just help people understand what could be done.
Well, again, we're investigating. When we get all the information that we've requested, then we'll make a determination as to next steps. We have to analyze all of the information we receive, all the body cams, all the different angles, and then we'll make a determination as to what next steps are. Whether that's filing lawsuit, whether that's litigation, I don't know at this point, but it's an ongoing investigation, and we will, once we get all the information, we'll then make a determination.
I just want to ask, pain that your family is feeling is clear right now, but in that statement, you made a point to notice and acknowledge the pain that the family of the fallen deputy is feeling as well. What was in your heart when you did that? Why did you find the need to acknowledge their pain as well?
Well, reason why,
How seniors are getting safer time.
So now they want to talk to the grandfather. Now they want to talk to the grandfather because everybody else walked back to console Marlon, the cousin. I think that's his name, Marlon. So everybody walked back to console Marlon and tell him that it wasn't his fault and this and that, whatever. And so the grandfather from the other side, he's talking now. And he's the only one. This is why I told you that this is the grandfather. The father is an upstanding man. He has never had a criminal background. He hasn't done anything. He has a wife. He has a family. You know what I'm saying? He has a career. The father is upright. The grandfather is upright. But that boy missed the teaching. The boy missed the teaching. This is why it's important for fathers to fight like hell to be with their children. But it's sad that I gotta say that, because why do I gotta fight like hell to be raising my kid when you, mama, can go into the next room and open up the door and pick this baby up anytime you want? But when it's my turn to be in the baby life, I gotta fight you. I gotta fight your mama. I gotta fight your cousins just to see my kid. This is the bad part about how the melanated family decides to, I raised the baby better than you. I'm the mama. You ain't shit. You ain't gonna never be shit. You know what I'm saying? And this is just me, this is just me thinking this. I don't know if this is true or not. Okay? I don't know. This is my assessment. That's what it looked like. Especially when I saw how the grandmama bum rushed the grandfather, and she belongs with the mama side of the family, so you can tell she raised an alpha female. The baby mama probably was a nightmare for Ryan. Okay, she probably was a nightmare for Ryan. And I'm gonna share something with you, and I truly believe, okay, I truly believe, and I know that this is wrong what I'm about to say, but I could see the mama talking to Roderick. Am I saying his name? Rodney. I could see the mama talking to Rodney, saying to Rodney that, oh, your son has been deleted by some officer. What you gonna do? I could see her saying that. Your son was deleted by an officer. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Okay? What you gonna do for our son? That you wasn't always in his life. And see Rodney should have said, I wasn't in his life because you chose not to let me in his life. You chose to raise him on your own. You didn't want my help. All you wanted was my money. Sometimes, my brothers, y'all got to tell these women the truth. All you wanted was my money. You didn't want me to instill righteousness in this boy. Because what child wake up and be like, I'm dropping out of school? You could tell that something is going on in the home. I'm going to drop out of school. Like, none of our children, even the oldest, will never think, oh, I'm going to drop out of school. She knows there's going to be some consequences. But when I don't fear my parents and I don't respect them, I could drop out of school. This is all alleged. This is all alleged. This is all alleged. I'm just saying. Okay? I'm just saying. Now, Malik said facts. Had beef with my daughter's whole other side, shaking my damn head. Son husbands gathered against me too. Now, that's true. That's true. This is true. Y'all don't know what Rodney had to go through to even see Ryan when he was young. You don't know the nonsense he had to go through, probably because he didn't want to be with the mama. The mama looked troublesome. I'm sorry. I know this is nasty, but this is just me looking looking at the family in the video. The mama looked troublesome. The grandma looked troublesome. The grandfather on the other side don't look troublesome at all. And it's not because he talking about Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. No. No, no, no. Because people could be saying Jesus and be the devil incarnate. No, it's just the way he's talking. Okay? So now here come the grandfather. Here we go.
This happened. I'm devastated because my grandson was with me the whole winter. So, you know, when goes back, we go back with his mama through the summer, and he got killed. So it was very devastating to us. Kind of a lot of anger feelings at first. But for me, I have to go to spiritual. I have to go spiritual to myself to understand what's really going on. If I can see through.
Let me go back.
Again, we're investigating. When we get all the information that we've requested, then we'll make a determination as to next steps. We have to analyze all of the information we receive, all the body cams, all the different angles, and then we'll make a determination as to what next steps are. Whether that's filing lawsuit, whether that's litigation, I don't know at this point, but it's an ongoing investigation, and we will, once we get all the information, we'll then make a determination.
I just want to ask, pain that your family is feeling is clear right now, but in that statement, you made a point to notice and acknowledge the pain that the family of the fallen deputy is feeling as well. What was in your heart when you did that? Why did you find the need to acknowledge their pain as well?
Well, reason why, because when So naturally, for me, when this happened, I'm devastated because my grandson was with me the whole winter. So, you know, when we go back with his mama.
Okay, so the grandfather said, I'm devastated because my grandson was with me the whole winter. So that means this boy wasn't, okay, so now once he got out of control, the mama couldn't sustain him anymore. Because there's a time when these boys uprise against their mama, okay? There's a time when they uprise against their mama. So, and some of them don't. They'll just continue to respect the mama, but some boys do. They challenge the authority, okay? Because the daddy needs to be there to clinch them down. Now, don't say, listen, he experienced this authority thing too, especially in the one who lives here with us, okay? And I remember the day, I couldn't believe it. And my king immediately knew what was going on. Like, the boy was shouting at me and screaming at me. You know, I told you the boy looked like a linebacker. This boy was shouting at me. I was like, what the? You know, I had almost lost my mind. My husband said, sit down. I got it. I seen him flip up, got off that lazy boy, and he hemmed that boy up so fast. And the thing is, our son always be like making jokes with my king, like, Daddy, look at you. You short, this and that, whatever. And I have never seen no nonsense like this. My king ran at him listen, a train wreck was coming, honey. A train wreck was coming. And this boy was trying to scream out of this thing. He was trying to get, and my king told him, you'll never get loose. You'll never get loose because you belong to me. You'll never get loose. He said, I'm going to share something with you. And in the African tone, y'all, in the African tone, he said, that's my wife. You're not going to talk to her like you crazy. He said, you are my son. You must show respect to me and your mama. Boy, y'all, I ain't never seen nothing like that. The boy was crying and everything. My husband wouldn't let me go, let me go. My husband said, I'm not going to let you go because you belong to me. There's a time when boys challenge the grain. And so he wasn't living with his mama. 18 years old, you not staying with your mama. The granddaddy said he was living with him in the winter. He was living with him in the winter. And then he went to go stay with his mama. And he said, this is why it hurts, because he was with me. And then he went to go stay with his mama. And now he's sent to glory. So let's continue. Here we go.
And he got killed, so it was very devastating to us. Kind of a lot of anger feelings at first. But for me, I have to go to spiritual. I have to go spiritual to myself to understand what's really going on. If I can see through the fake media and all this stuff. So the media have done nothing towards me to make me feel about anything what I'm saying. Mine's all natural, coming from God. So I just, it's hurting on both sides. Everybody's hurting off this. The family, the officer, I was crying about what happened to the innocent officer. So that's all it's all about. It's all about healing each other. Everybody makes mistakes. Like I say, it was an emotional mistake by everybody. That's it.
Do you know who your son was talking to during his arraignment on Saturday morning when he said he'll be?
I have no more questions. I don't want to ask more
Yeah. No, I do not. And we're not going to discuss anything related.
And this is good because they said they're not going to discuss anything about what happened with Rodney. Okay, I hope I'm saying his name right. Rodney Minton. Am I saying Hilton? Hinton. Rodney Hinton Jr. No. Yeah. Rodney Hinton Jr. They said they're not going to discuss anything with the father and how he had something to do with the deletion of the sheriff deputy. So that's good. They said we're not going to discuss that. We're here to discuss the grandson. Okay, so that's good. So let's continue. It's sad though, but I do respect the grandfather for saying his condolences to the sheriff deputy family. Okay, A&A, I see you, baby. How are you? Let's continue. Here we go.
The criminal case, we're not here to represent Rodney in the criminal matter, so that's something you have to talk to his criminal lawyer about.
Just to clarify, it was his husband who spoke and said Ryan let them walk out that Wednesday night before that Thursday. Just to clarify what you were saying.
That's what he said.
Do you know if the officer involved had been placed on an interim leave or anything like that?
It's my understanding that during officer-involved shootings, the officer is placed on administrative leave. I don't know. I believe it's 7 days, but I'm not 100% sure.
That's right. I know you've been around for a minute, and just the circumstances here are just incredibly unique and truly just hard to process. Having gone from Thursday into the tragic incident on Friday, from your vantage point, I mean, you're staying in your lane. You're representing the state of Hinton. What do you make of this and the city and this time? And there's a lot happening here. A lot of people feel different ways about it.
Yeah, I mean, this was a tragedy all the way around. Ryan was shot and killed. This police officer lost his life. His family is suffering. This family is suffering. There's a lot of healing that has to happen.
Now, I don't like that he said the police officer. He should say the sheriff deputy lost his life, because this is why the black community is messing up, because they believe it was a cop. They believe it was the same cop that had deleted Ryan, and it wasn't. This was another man from a different department, sheriff deputy department. This man had nothing to do with Ryan's death at all. He was just moving traffic in the college. That's all. That's it. And that's the sad part, that the black community is messing up. This was an innocent man, and his name was Larry Henderson. Okay? My condolences, and may Larry Henderson rest in peace. I pray and his family find peace. Larry Henderson had nothing to do with this foolery that happened with Ryan. And that's the thing everybody is messing up with, okay, in the black community. Lenard, thank you, baby, for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you, honey. We're going to stop right here. We're going to go and thank Larry for the $10 super chat real quick. And then we're going to come back to the story. Okay, we're going to come back to the story. Here we go.
I'ma do it. Shoot. Young people, ain't nothing wrong with having you a eat. Shoot it up. Shoot. We can't forget where we come from. If y'all don't mind, let's have a little church right now. Right now. Shoot. Something about this brain. It's something about my little eater. Something about my man eater. It's something about my little eater. Woo. She always eat this thing. She don't go. Come on and lift your hands and say it with me. Oh, how I love my little eater. Say it with me now. I love my brain. Oh, how I love my little eater. Oh, I love her. She always eats.
us gonna go to hell because y'all taking gospel songs and y'all turning it into something else. And I'm probably going right along with y'all because I'm playing it on my live. Oh my God. Now let's get back into the video. Here we go. Here we go.
Here soon. You know, we are still investigating the shooting, as I indicated, but, you know, as Rodney Jr. said, everyone's hurting, you know? Excuse me, Rodney Sr. said where everyone's hurting. And there's, you know, there has been nothing at this point that's been good about this entire situation.
Nothing.
They lost their grandson, their son, their brother, and the officer, you know, his family lost a father, a grandfather, you know, and the, you know, just the police department in general lost a colleague. So, you know, we don't.
And that's the messed up part that they're doing. They're saying police. I keep telling y'all it's sheriff, deputy, not the police department lost somebody. Sheriff, deputy. Every state, not county, has different, you know, you got the sheriff, you got the police. Some don't. They just have the sheriff. But that's the messed up part. Corey Joe, how are you, honey? I just played your intro music. Thank you so much for just stopping by, rocking out. I appreciate you. Guys, please make sure you tune in to 1000 Watts Radio. Brother content is always fire, baby. And when you get in here, tell him Take Heed sent me, okay? Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you for all that you do for my channel, sir. So let's continue. Here we go.
Saying that, you know, this was nothing but a very tragic situation all the way around.
Mr. Wright, with everything going on, or saying Friday, I know the chief is out there talking about possible tensions arising. I mean, how do you keep...
No one understands me. If I act...
Commercial, y'all. Sorry. Commercial. Give me 1 minute. It's coming. Here we go.
Tensions arising. I mean, how do you keep the temperature down in a situation like this?
Well, just by what we're doing now. You know, we want everyone to just forgive one another. We want everyone to kind of just wait and let this process, you know, play itself out.
Your lawyer's
Let's
right.
see what the investigation for the shooting of Ryan turns out. Let's wait and see what the investigation as it relates to Rodney. And, you know, just pray for the family of the officer. Pray for this family.
Yeah.
So that's, I would hope that the tensions in this city would relax, that everyone would just wait and not rush to judgment on either side, and hopefully, you know, we can get through this, you know, this very tragic situation.
I agree.
One other question. When we all meet here today, what is one thing you and the family want us to take away from Ryan himself?
And
You heard the message, that he was loved. What we know is that we have a natural tendency in society to line up along the sides that we believe.
So this man here is another lawyer that's talking, very authoritative, you know, voice. And I love that when you see that in black men, especially when they have to rise up and speak. It's always amazing. So what this brother is talking, he's getting to the nitty gritty. So y'all get ready, okay? So the family is just saying that they want everyone to know that Ryan was loved. You understand? That Ryan was loved. And that's a blessing that he was loved. But also was there guidance in his life. See, you can love a child so much, but was there guidance? Was there rules to the game, to raising this boy? Because it sounds like he just was a troubled teen. You understand, when these children don't have their fathers in their life, when they're not raised under a man with substance, that's right, Malik, structure. When they're not raised with this, you understand, these children grow up like weeds and you can't control the weeds. See, when you start seeing a child trying to grow like a weed, you got to cut that weed. Nah, hell no, you better grow up straight. You better grow up straight. You got to cut that weed. The father is needed for structure. The father is needed. See, us sisters, we believe we can raise these boys without the daddy. We don't need the daddy. Now when the child get out of control, now let me ship them off to the grandfather. Let me ship them off to the father now because the child is out of control. When if the child was growing up with the daddy, if the child was able to be with the daddy on a regular basis, the child wouldn't be doing no foolery because the daddy would correct the shit. Boom. Nope, you ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna be doing that. You're gonna get your ass whooped. Now take heed to the message, does not support violence. I don't support violence. But ain't nothing like a father's love. Do you hear me? Ain't nothing like it. If y'all try to duplicate it when y'all be getting these studs in here trying to raise children, y'all try to duplicate it. You cannot duplicate a father's love and the structure that a man bring to children. Y'all try to duplicate it and it doesn't work. The child still grow up, something's wrong. The daddy is needed. The owner's manual, shout out to JT. The owner's manual is needed for the children to grow up properly. Let's continue. Here we go.
At some point, our positions may not be supported. What we have to do in this community, as an example, is recognize that life is life. Most of us have experienced some loss in our lives. Most of us know what it feels like not to have the phone call from that person that we were able to talk to the day before. And if all of us recognize that pain, if all of us recognize that sentiment, then all of us can understand the commonality of the injury and the pain that we collectively have to sympathize with the other side, even if we don't particularly agree with what we believe that person did before they lost their lives. Even if that's our position, we have to understand that somewhere within us has to be understanding and mercy. And that's a community offer and direction.
Right.
What we're talking about, what we're doing as the carpenter firm, is about process. We're all here because of an incident. And certainly some people say, well, you know, he was doing bad stuff. Even assuming the truth of that, there's procedures and there are policies that require those who hold life and death in their hands to move in particular ways. Our objection is the question of whether or not those policies and procedures were followed, which led to the unfortunate and tragic death of an 18-year-old.
Trying it, it's wireless.
Now I'm gonna share something with y'all because the video was so blurry when the officer claims that he was, you know, pointing the peace be still at him. The video was so blurry. Okay, I'm gonna share something with you. When they get to the nitty gritty of breaking down that video and there was no peace be still, that officer gonna fry. That officer is going to fry. Do you hear me? Because the video doesn't look like the boy had anything. I'm just saying. And Officer Tatum has said this himself. I was surprised he said that because usually he'll be in there and be like, yeah, he had something with him. So that's why I take heed is saying allegedly, because from what I saw the video, it doesn't look like that he had anything on him. So if he didn't, that officer is done. That officer is done. Okay? But if he did, then now we understand what happened. Because even in the body cam, the body cam footage, it doesn't look like anything. Here we go.
That lead people to places where they shouldn't be. But that's not our question, nor are we trying to answer that by this process. We are answering or looking for the answer through our investigation of whether or not it was proper, whether or not the policies were followed appropriately, and whether or not by law and by facts that tragic death was considered in the eyes of the law as justifiable. I can promise you, under no circumstance are the family members who were here will ever believe that it was justifiable. Trust me on that. But I can offer to you that we collect.
Now the lawyer is right about that. Ain't nobody, I don't care what anybody come up with, how, what type of evidence come through afterwards. No family wants to believe that this was justified. Not even take heed. If something happened like that to my family, God forbid, I wouldn't believe that it was justified. I would still be saying that something else should have happened. Because nobody wants to bury their baby. I don't care what the child was doing. Nobody wants to bury their baby. A&A, why you being so nice to me today? What's going on? What's going on? $50 super chat? What is going on, sir? Oh my God, thank you. I appreciate you, baby. Thank you so much for the $50 super chat. Okay, so listen, y'all. This is the uncomfortable truth. The lawyer is right. Okay, the lawyer is right. No, the family, no matter what, the family is not gonna be okay with all this. It's heartbreaking to lose a child, even if the child was um, doing nonsense in the street. It's heartbreaking. So let's continue the video. We only got a few more seconds to it. And then we're going to acknowledge ANA donating $50 to the super chat. Thank you, baby, for being nice to me. I appreciate you. Okay? So let's continue. Here we go.
Need to, as Senior said, find a way to love and forgive one another and look at our commonality to stop all this vitriol, this anger, this taking sides, this dart throwing, this hatred.
Yeah.
Because there was no good that will come from it on either side.
None.
This may be a technical question for you or a family member. It was Friday afternoon around 1:30, or sorry, not Friday afternoon. During Thursday's incident, what, was Ryan 18? Was he in school? Was he out of school? What was his?
He was going to Don, and Don just closed.
And they closed, so he had not been enrolled at CPS, for example, or whatnot. And that's unfortunate, yeah, so I'm sorry. That was the case. So, but Mom, would you care to say a few words? Mom, just
She said he was going to Don and Don just closed. So that doesn't mean anything. Don just closed. What they do with all those kids in that school? They enrolled them into a new school, Ma. Come on now. Oh, they Don just closed. So they just dropped all those kids like that? So that wasn't even a good excuse right there. Oh, he was going to Don and Don just closed. So what did they do with the children? What did they do with all the kids that was going to the school? They didn't just drop it. They had to enroll them into a different school. The school system don't just drop you like that. You have to go to another school. They tell you. And if you can't get there, what is it? They have transportation to get you there to the school. So I don't like that part, what they said, but let's continue. Here we go.
Thank you.
Hey, Wallace, how are you?
If that's it, we're going to end this press conference. Thank you all for coming out and pray for all these, and just pray for all these families.
Is there you want to say something? That's his sister. That's his only sister.
Hi, I am Ryan's sister, only sister. And me? I did. Oh, hi, I'm Zuri, and I'm 10 years old, and I'm Ryan's only sister. And me and Ryan is 8 years apart. And Ryan was the funniest person I ever met. And even though we used to fight a lot, so I'm done. Oh, and LL Ryan.
So the baby who is 10, she didn't really know what to say, but she misses her brother. And, you can't expect a 10-year-old to really understand what's going on until somebody sit down and talk with her. So, Henry, I saw what you wrote. You said, I'm broke. That's true. I'm broke. I ain't got no money. You right. I'm broke today. Because, let me see, my allowance is already gone. Because y'all know I told y'all I get an allowance. So my allowance is already gone, okay? I can't tell y'all how I spent it, okay? I can't tell y'all where it been, okay? But all I know, new jury is coming. But that's it. I can't tell you how it got gone, okay? I can't really get into it, okay? But my allowance is gone. You right. You right, okay? You right. I am broke. You right. I think I got like 38 cents in my Cash App. You right, though. I am broke. I'm not, listen. Listen, I'm not one of those rich content creators. So when you call me broke, now listen, now when I get my allowance, okay? When I get my allowance, okay, I ain't broke no more, okay? I got $50, okay? I ain't broke no more. Stop laughing at me, 18. Stop laughing at me, Wallace. So when I get my $50 from my allowance, okay, then I ain't broke no more, okay? And then yes, I get an allowance. I get an allowance. Take Heed get an allowance. You wanna know why? Take Heed is not good with money. My king is. Yeah, he's better with money. So he manages we have a one pot system. So he managed the money better than I do. So yes, okay. I got my $50. It's gone. It's gone. I have bought new stuff. I can't tell y'all what kind of new stuff, but when you see the jewelry, you gonna know. You gonna know, okay? Now, let's get into acknowledging let's get into acknowledging the $50 super chat, and we gonna acknowledge it with this one right here. This is what we gonna acknowledge you with. Now, ANA, don't take offense to this video. It's a little fresh, okay? It's a little fresh, but we gonna go through the whole video, okay? It's a little fresh. The sound, you know, we're gonna go through the sound. It's a little fresh. I'm not directing it towards you, ANA, okay? It's a little fresh. All right, here we go.
Hey man, how you doing? I'll just sit your package right here for you. Thank you very much. You enjoy the rest of your day, man.
Man, you just hold it right there, young man. Are you my new delivery driver? What happened to Sylvester?
Oh, Sylvester retired. I'll be delivering your packages from now on.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like how you handle that big package all by your lonesome.
Thank you.
I'm pretty good at handling big old packages myself, if you catch my drift.
No, ma'am. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about.
I need you to check that envelope on the table right there and let me know what you think.
It's like $2,000 in here.
And it's got four damn good names.
That's what I'm willing to pay for you to bring me that big package every week. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
So you're going to pay me $2,000 to bring you this package every week?
Young man, my tolerance for individuals playing fool is very, very low. Now, you know what package I'm referring to. Please don't upset Miss Mildred by being an imbecile.
You're talking about that package. Package.
Yes, that package. Now, there's a few things that need to be established before this agreement is transpired. Number one, don't ever show up to my house with it shaved.
But I like the
I like my meat to be ungroomed, like the front yard of a vacant home. I expect to see Mr. Snuffleupagus down there when I drop them drawers. Do you understand me? If it doesn't look like Harry and the Hendersons between them thighs, I'm going to be very, very displeased. Secondly, how long do you normally last, young man?
What do you mean? Like last like what?
How long can I expect my sweet potato to be pleasurized?
I mean, I normally go like 15, 20 minutes or so.
15 to 20 minutes? That ain't enough. That's not going to do nothing but piss me off. I'm used to my ovaries being dislocated by old Frank. 15 to 20 minutes just ain't going to cut it.
By who?
I need every hole that I own to be aggressively manhandled. Is that understood, young man?
Oh, my God.
Is that understood, young man?
Yes, ma'am.
I need to be devoured for at least 3 hours.
3 hours?
3 hours! I'm paying you 2 G's. You better drop me to my knees. Is that understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Now I want you to take this money. I want you to go home and think about our little arrangement. If you agree upon it, I want you to return with it looking like Bushwick Bill between your legs. And I want to ride you from behind. Is that understood?
What do you mean, ride me?
I want to ride it from behind, young man. Is that understood?
Yes, ma'am. Hey, man.
ANA is listen. I hope I ain't go too far with it. I hope I ain't go too far with it. Okay. I hope I ain't go too far with it. Mama said she want to ride it from behind. I hope I ain't go too far with it. Okay. ANA, thank you. ANA said your king got you, sis. You never broke. You know what? He does got me, but personally on my own with my Cash App is empty. Okay, my Cash App is empty. So when people say take heed, you broke, you know, I'm not one of those rich content creators. Okay, I'm not. Okay, so now let's go back. I know we clowning a little bit, but we gonna go back. We're going to go back and we're going to talk. We're going to talk a little bit. We're going back to the sad story. Okay? So I want y'all to hear the story of the fallen sheriff deputy. Okay? We're going to go back and I want y'all to hear what the news and other people were talking about this man and how kind he was. Okay? Because listen, the truth is that this man had nothing to do with it. But social media is in an uproar talking about jungle justice. Jungle justice. The father got him back for what he did to his son. And it's not true. And all the famous content creators are running with this narrative too. Even the ones that I follow, I was surprised. I was like, wow. So I hit them up in the DMs thinking that they would respond to the message. Mind you, they contact me and respond to the stuff I write. But when I gave them the truth, they don't want to respond. I'm going to leave it just like that and mind my business. But anyway, at least they know the truth, that they can retract their statements, but they don't want to. Because most of these content creators, when they wrong, they just leave it like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't come back and say, oh, I said it wrong. This was not the case or whatever. Because it feeds the narrative. You know what I'm saying? But take heed is not, I want to be one of those. I want to be in here and be like, yeah, I said it wrong. Let's get in here and get the right information. I don't want to be one of those. I don't care how big I get. I don't never want to be one of those that you go on with a false narrative and stuff like that. Get in here and correct the shit. You know what I'm saying? So now here we go. Here we go. Here's the news. It's going to be a commercial first. It's sad, y'all. Okay? Thank you, A&A. All in love. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, sir. 18 said, Lord, Lord, Lord. I know that clip is something, ain't it? It's funny. I was trying to hold my face. It is funny. Let's get into it. Here we go.
My grandson, I seen two scared people. I seen the officer scared, and I seen my grandson scared.
Now at 6, a family seeks answers and calls for peace after a Cincinnati police officer killed 18-year-old Brian Hinton.
I'm angry because it shouldn't have never happened. I want to find out exactly what steps was taken in the protocol.
Hinton's father is charged in the death of Hamilton County Deputy Larry Henderson, who served the community in many different ways.
He would do anything for anybody. We loved him being around.
Henderson's connection to the UC football team.
And tonight, WCPO is asking questions and getting you answers. What is protocol for sharing video of police shootings? And how does the Cincinnati Police Department handle them differently than other agencies?
This is WCPO 9 News at 6.
Thanks so much for joining us. Emotions are high in Hamilton County in the wake of two deaths. A deputy killed in the line of duty and an 18-year-old killed by police.
Now let's take you through the timeline to catch you up here. Cincinnati police say Thursday morning a CPD officer shot and killed 18-year-old Ryan Hinton while chasing he and 3 others after they jumped out of a stolen car in East Price Hill. Police say Hinton was armed at the time. CPD first shared body camera video with Hinton's family before sharing it with the public Friday morning around 11:15. Approximately 2 hours later, Ryan's father, Rodney, is accused of hitting and killing Hamilton County Deputy Larry Henderson with his car near UC. On Saturday, a judge ordered Rodney to be held without bail until his no bond hearing, which is set for tomorrow.
Tonight, WCPO 9 is bringing you team coverage on this case and the questions it's prompting. We want to start with WCPO 9 News reporter Connor Steffen, who was at a news conference today held by the Hinton family and their attorneys. Connor?
Tanya and Craig, this is one of the more emotional news conferences I can remember covering. You had multiple family members break down in tears several times throughout it. It was very obvious that this is still a fresh and painful loss for them. Right. We heard from attorneys representing Ryan Hinton's estate, as well as his own family, grandmother, grandfather, cousin, little sister. They wanted to share more about how they are remembering Hinton after his death. But the press conference began with attorneys offering condolences to the family of retired Hamilton County Sheriff's Deputy Larry Henderson. They consider his death another tragic loss. Family called the media here to speak on the life of Ryan Hinton, but also to raise questions after reviewing body camera footage from his shooting death. Their main question is this: was the officer justified in using deadly force?
What I seen was 2 persons made a mistake. My grandson made a mistake being there, and the officer, he was trying to get back to his family too.
We're also learning some new information tonight. Hinton's family says he attended Don High School before it shut down. He was also not in school at the time of his death. Family and attorneys didn't dispute that Hinton was sitting in a stolen car or had a gun on him at the time of the incident.
And I want to stop that too. So an 18-year-old is supposed to be graduating from school. actually 17, but it depends on when the child actually started public school as well. But 18 is supposed to be graduating from school or graduated already. So that tells me there was a gap in his learning. Okay? That's just a mother speaking. That was a gap in his learning. So let's continue. Here we go.
Cousin says, though, that he should have never been in that stolen car because he was locked out of the house the night before.
I was asleep. Ryan, I'm so sorry. This was never supposed to happen to you. Ever. I'm so sorry, Ryan. I'm so sorry, Ryan. Just know he won't us to be there.
The family is asking the public not to rush to judgment. Their attorneys are reviewing every report and angle of the incident they can get their hands on. At that point, attorneys say they will announce what, if any, next steps they will take. Now, the family refrained from answering many questions about Ryan's father, Rodney Hinton Jr. He does face one charge of aggravated murder, and he's currently scheduled to be in court tomorrow for a bond hearing. As of now, he is in custody in the Claremont County Jail. Well, live in Corryville, Connor Steffen, WCPO 9 News.
Connor, thank you. Police arrested 3 other people in connection to the incident that resulted in Ryan Hinton's death. 18-year-old Sincere Grigsby, 19-year-old DeAnthony Bullocks, and 18-year-old Jarrell Austin. Each face charges of receiving stolen property and obstruction. Police say on Thursday in East Price Hill, all 4 ran from a stolen car when marked cruisers approached. Thursday at the Westview condo complex on Warsaw Avenue. Grigsby appeared in court this morning. His bond is set at $50,000. Meanwhile, the greater Cincinnati community continues to mourn the death of fallen Hamilton County Deputy Larry Henderson.
WCPO 9 News reporter Valerie Lyons is live in Anderson tonight with more on Henderson's life and legacy. Valerie?
Hi, everyone. I wanted to come up.
Now, they're going to talk about the sheriff now. The next coming up will be just the sheriff talking about how kind and caring this man was, and he had nothing to do with Ryan's death. But the black community, and I got to keep saying it because whoever jumps in later and listens to this, the black community, this man, Larry Henderson, had nothing to do with the death of Ryan Hinton. He had nothing to do with it. He doesn't work for the police department. He works for the sheriff department, and all he was doing was directing traffic. And some people are running with the narrative that this was the same police officer that deleted Ryan, and it wasn't. And so this is why Taki is going to tell you this was not jungle justice, okay? So let's continue. Let's get back to the foolery. Here we go.
This post 5. This is where Deputy Larry Henderson served his final years before formally retiring in December. Blue ribbons are on the buildings, they're on the lampposts, and they're on that cruiser parked in front of the operations center here. And
so I want to share something with you. Now, Larry, the sheriff deputy, right? Okay. He retired from the sheriff deputy department, okay? But he went back to work in the college as a sheriff deputy. So he's not doing anything like getting criminals and all that other stuff like when he was actually at the sheriff department. He's like, you know how you do like a crossing guard. You know how some of the cops, when they get older, they turn into crossing guards, right? Or they doing some security or something like that for the building, but still able to carry and all that stuff. So he's retired from the sheriff department, but he works still linked with the sheriff department, but for the college, okay? Because they have retired sheriffs that work for the college only, okay? So now he's going to actually retire from everything the end of this year, December, okay? So that would be his final retirement. But he is retired from doing anything, criminal activity, all that other stuff that, you know, a sheriff would do when they do warrants and stuff like that. So he just at the school, minding his business at the college, y'all. Okay? So let's continue. Here we go.
Which you are about to see, there are 2 signs, one of which reads, "Rest easy, Devil Dog." That is a nod to Henderson's time in the Marines. After 33 years with the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Larry Henderson's watch came to a tragic and violent end Friday.
When I heard it was Larry. It was really, really hard.
Hit and killed while directing traffic outside the University of Cincinnati. A memorial now grows near the spot where police say the driver intentionally ran him down.
He's a great person. He was quiet. He did his job.
John Whittakin is the Associate Athletic Director for UC Football. He knew Henderson personally. They were neighbors for many years. But he also knew the fallen deputy on a professional level because for nearly 20 years, Henderson was a part of the Bearcat team.
He knew when to step in and help a coach, but he was the type of guy that would do anything for you.
Henderson volunteered his time working security, traveling with the team for a few away games each year. Whittakin says he was set to continue the tradition this season. Would you consider him an integral part of the team?
Yeah, he's a huge part of the team. As our sheriffs, they got the same gear that we got. They got the same bull rings that we got.
In the days since Henderson's death, tributes have poured in on social media, words and sentiments lauding a decorated legacy and a life well lived. During his time in law enforcement, Henderson served in specialized units, including the Hamilton County Bomb Squad and SWAT team. He was also a dive team member, academy instructor, and FBI task force officer.
He's just a great guy, and he would do anything for anybody. We loved him being around. He was tremendous. He was very professional, and he was a huge Bearcat fan, and he helped us a lot, and we'll truly miss him.
Now, Henderson really touched so many lives and filled so many roles in his 33 years in law enforcement. And I reached out to different people who knew him or worked with him. Throughout the day, I also learned that Henderson worked security at Mercy Health. Henderson was also set to be a school resource officer for Laughlin City Schools next school year. Live in Anderson Township, Valerie Lyons, WCPO 9 News.
Valerie, thank you. And as we told you earlier, Rodney Hinton Jr. is accused of killing Deputy Larry Henderson.
So this man didn't just go sit down, even though he was retired. He still wanted to do other things. He still wanted to help the community. He also helped in training other deputy sheriffs when they first came in. He was an instructor too. So this man he was a father. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly was a father, because they didn't even mention the family. Allegedly a father and a husband. He just was, minding his business. See, we can't call this jungle justice. We cannot. He had nothing to do with the tragic death of Ryan. He had nothing to do with it. Now, you can call it jungle justice if the father got the officer who took out Ryan. Then you can call it. Then, as y'all say, it was justified. Okay? He will not say it's justified for killing a cop. I'm not going to say that. But if you want to say it's justified, then yeah, I guess you want to say it's justified. But this man, Larry Henderson, who was the sheriff deputy, had nothing to do with this foolery. He didn't even walk the beat. He was working in a college. He was minding his business. He was directing traffic for the college. More than likely they were having a game. And so directing traffic to the college, out of the college, he was minding his business. And Rodney Hinton Jr. ran this man over and deleted him with his vehicle. This old man, 33 years on the force. So this is why I can't ride with y'all. Some of y'all in the black community wrote in my comment section, you don't speak for the black community. You don't speak for black men and black women. You right, I don't. Take heed, speak for herself. But I'm going to tell you when it's right, and I'm going to tell you when it's wrong. You understand? I'm going to tell you when it's right, and I'm going to tell you when it's wrong. Naomi, how are you, honey? Let's continue.
His son was killed by a police officer.
This happened just hours after CPD showed Hinton and other family members video of that deadly shooting. And
now she wrong when she said hours after. It was 2 hours. It was 2 hours after he found out his son, what happened in the police footage, the body cam. It was 2 hours after. It wasn't hours after. It was only 2 hours after when they saw the video about what happened to his son. Okay, let's continue.
Online saying the release of body cam footage in just 24 hours seems rushed, especially for a grieving family. WCPO 9 News reporter Andrew Rowan explains why that timeline is standard protocol for Cincinnati police.
As the chief for the city of Cincinnati and this police department, my commitment is to transparency.
Police Chief Teresa Fiji telling the Buzz radio host Lincoln Ware about the moments she reviewed body camera footage with the Hinton family.
I think like any family member, they were all distraught over what they just saw.
Did he get up abruptly and just walk out of the room, or did he?
He did leave the room, yes.
All of a sudden, he left the room.
Yeah,
Okay.
he walked out.
Whenever there is a police shooting, body camera footage is released 24 hours after that shooting. A police lieutenant tells me that is standard protocol put into place by Police Chief Teresa Fiji herself.
I have nothing to hide. I will share whatever I can share throughout
Even if
this
it's not
process.
favorable for the police, you will share it.
Yeah, I will always share what information, what factual information I have.
3 investigations are simultaneously underway, one by the homicide unit, one internally, and one by the Citizens Complaint Authority. The city is relying on its collaborative agreement, a document that's become a national model for community police relations, born out of the civil unrest in 2001 when an officer shot and killed Timothy Thomas.
My ask is for them to be patient and show why we are the gold standard of police community relations.
In a statement, Mayor Aftab Purival said in part the collaborative agreement.
I don't know why people are upset with her that she released the body footage within 24 hours. I don't see anything wrong with that. What's to hide? I don't see anything wrong with that. She's right. I would release the footage too, because you have people hurting. You have the community, in an uproar. I would release it within 24 hours. I don't see anything wrong with it. She telling the truth about that part. A lot of people are giving her a lot of hell for that, but I don't see anything wrong with that. She doing the right thing. 24 hours, yes. Release that body footage so everybody can find out what actually happened. But the problem is that they should have released all the footage, like not just that police officer, like everybody. We should have been able to see everybody body cam. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. If she didn't release it, they would be mad at her also, shaking my head. You right, Jay LaRaw. You right about that, baby. Here we go.
Was built for our most challenging time. He said transparency and accountability are being put front and center in this process. Reporting downtown, Andrew Rowan, WCPO 9 News.
So last week's shooting was the 6th time in 9 weeks that Greater Cincinnati law enforcement officers had shot someone.
The WCPO 9 I-Team's been looking into those incidents to see if there's anything that we can learn from them. I-Team reporter Dan Monk in studio right now to share what he found. Dan?
Well, Tanya, I sat down with former UC Police Chief Gene Ferrara, who has been involved in law enforcement training for more than 50 years. And we talked about that recent spate of shooting incidents in Covington and Lockland, Florence, Claremont County, not to mention 2 since early March in the city of Cincinnati. He said there is a lot to be learned from a lot of those cases, but not what's causing them right now.
Number one, that's a lot. But if you're looking for why, there's no why. There's no... They're all random acts.
So can you tell me why there have been 6 in the last several weeks?
No, I think the most important thing for people to understand is police officers are not trained to act. They're trained to react. What the officer does is contingent upon what the person that they are confronting does.
But there is one obvious difference between Cincinnati's handling of these cases compared to other departments. Cincinnati releasing body cam video within a day of both incidents. Other departments took up to 17 days. And Ferrara told me that he wouldn't be surprised if that approach comes under review in the weeks ahead.
Thank you very much, Dan. So I did reach out to the city manager and the mayor today.
Why 17 days, though? You know what I'm saying? What do you have to hide? Why 17 days? That's wrong. 24 hours is good. So the world can see what's going on. That 17 days is stupid. 24, you know what I'm saying? 24 hours is good enough. But we finished with that one, y'all. Now, I'm going to let us go into Officer Tatum just a little bit. Now, be ready, y'all, because this is a little rough. Officer Tatum don't hold no punches. He a little rough, okay? So y'all get ready. I had, like I told y'all, I like Officer Tatum, but some of the stuff I don't agree with what he say, but we going to go into him, okay? We're going to go into him next. That's the end of the news that we heard about Larry Henderson. Okay, may his soul rest in peace. He was the sheriff deputy that got deleted. Okay, so let's go into Officer Tatum. Okay, we gonna cut it down just a little bit. He got a commercial first. Okay, the thing that hurts so bad is that Y'all, we paying attention to the smoke and mirrors. See, there's a lot of shit that's going on behind the curtain, but they need black and white people to be at war. You understand? They need black and white people to get up here and be fighting one another. There's a lot of shit going on right now. Okay? What's his name? I'm sorry. Ibrahim Traore. There's a lot of stuff going on right now over there. There's a lot of stuff going on with the small hat people in Gaza as well. There's a lot of stuff going on with Russia as well. And then did y'all hear that Russia done sent some shit over there to President Traore? It's a lot of stuff going on. And so they got to have Americans distracted with this old Civil War bullshit between us fighting one another, black and white and all this other stuff. They have to have us distracted from what's really going on. You understand? The smoke and mirrors get us every time, y'all. Every time. They try to keep us distracted to not pay attention to what's going on. Did you know that President Trump is about to try to open up Alcatraz? Did y'all know? He trying to open up Alcatraz, y'all. Okay? Nobody is checking about the new executive orders that he running down too. Now, mind you, I'm not against Trump. I'm not. Some of the stuff I don't agree with. But we need to be paying attention to bigger stuff. I'm just saying. Or either just opening up our minds and hearts to figure out what the hell is going on. Here come Officer Taylor.
Now to Synergy, my beverage company, or at least the supplement lifestyle company. I own a beverage company, but this is one of our beverages that we have. But Synergy is in a tremendous supplement line. We have T-Force Advance, which is a testosterone booster, which is we're out of stock right now, but we're going to get it in. Just hold the phone. Also, Synergy Day and Synergy Night. It's complete energy. Nobody's doing it because they don't really care about your energy. They only care about making money for you and making sure you're tired when you wake up, so you need their energy drink. But we do complete energy where it helps you go to bed, helps you get a good night's sleep and rest. Then you wake up feeling refreshed and have a little bit of sustainable energy throughout the day to help you with energy and focus. And all of that can be found at synergylife.com, synergylife.com. Go on and get the supplements. There's thousands of people that have already gotten it. I cannot wait for reviews to come back so you can see how much people really love the supplement. All right, let's talk about the first topic. People have been begging me, Brandon, you got to talk about this. What's your thoughts on this? This dad, whoa, Jesus, help us. This dad raised a dirt bag who is fleeing police in a stolen vehicle. He goes on, they chase him out of the vehicle. He's running. They're giving him commands, telling him to drop the gun. He has a gun. Boom, boom, boom. Shooting occurs. The police are claiming that he pointed the gun at them. Dad gets access to the body-worn camera. After he watches the body-worn camera, which I would argue probably will show a justifiable shooting, he then takes his vehicle and rams into an officer who had nothing to do with this incident and kills him, and essentially also losing his life. Now, as a father, I understand the hurt, the pain it would cause you to lose your son. But at some point, you got to take accountability that you raised a boy who in a stolen vehicle with a gun in his possession. The boy's only 18 years old, so he don't have a legal right to own a gun. And the second major thing that I got to talk about is the way the people of the melanin reacted to this. Let's go to the clip that I had you put in there just recently. Comedian Spears. He posted this. Did you crop it? Well, this idiot posted this video, and he has music playing, and he's saying, "Welcome to the Ku Klux Klan America." Look at the police patrols. Roll the clip.
Thank you.
Pause real quick. They are upset, which is asinine to me. They are upset, and I'm talking about the people of the melanin, are upset because these cops are mugging him, upset with him, responding in solidarity because this fool killed one of their police officers. But it's a problem. It's not a problem that the man raised an idiot and then killed some innocent police officer who retired, who was just coming back to do service and direct traffic for a graduation. And it's racism, and it's an evil thing that white people who are mad at this man. Y'all got a problem with that? But not a problem with the one who did the crime. Roll the clip.
Oh, yes, we are. We can hold him at no bond for 72 hours. Get that right? Thank you so much. But I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's up there.
Now, Lord help us. Do you know Sam Cooke and that song is one of the most historic songs to ever be presented? It's a very emotional song that's inappropriate for this situation. This is not a Sam Cooke. It's been too long. I know a change gonna come. This ain't the situation. Your son had an illegal gun in a stolen vehicle, refused police commands multiple times, allegedly pointed the gun at the police, was shot as a result. A gun was found on his person at the scene. And the people of the melanin are supporting, not all, but are supporting this man. Let's pull up some of the comments. We will pull up the comment section. Because as I present day in and day out, the problems that I see, this is exacerbated. Can you please make the comments bigger? Just enlarge that section. And people get mad at me and say, Brandon, you always talking about black people. Brandon, you always doing this. And that is because when I read the comment section, these things that I'm going to read to you are incredibly embarrassing. I'll go with it right here. And it's crazy. Now, you know my wife don't play, so she ain't here cutting up. And I am her biggest fan. Let's see what my wife had to say. So a dirtbag raised a dirtbag. The man shot by police. I'm sure terrorized black communities, but the community defend him. No shock why most black communities are unsafe to inhabit and riddled with crime and bad choices. Sad state.
So Officer Tatum's wife was in the comment section and saying all these things. Now, is she telling the truth? Now, I know it's nasty, but the wife is telling the truth. Some of y'all cry over people who have terrorized the community. Some of us get in here, and yes, they are our children, but some of y'all go crazy over people you yourself will be scared to walk next to. You yourself will be scared to even speak to. But when they pass away because of a deletion from a cop deleted them, now we all out here got the shirts on, we all got candles and crosses and stuff, and we all screaming and crying, but you know that this person was a terror to the community. Now, she right about that. Now, I know it's nasty, but his wife is correct about that part. So let's continue. Here we go.
Now tell me where you find a lie at. Who did he steal the car from? Or they stole. I think it was multiple people in the car. Who did they steal the car from? Probably a black person. How did he get a stolen gun? Why does he need a stolen gun or an illegal firearm? Why? Either to defend himself against black people or to terrorize black people. One of the two is happening. And look at what they mad at my wife over. Let's see what they say to my wife. Come get your wife. Her racism is showing. She racist when she pointed out the truth. This man done killed the officer that had nothing to do with nothing. His son was the problem. Look at them saying, hey, long chin, Bigfoot, something, focus on your little blank husband. So they say I got a little pee-pee now. Your response to my wife exposing you is that I got a little pee-pee. All right, let's look at these women who are commenting on my wife post. Just a bunch of ghetto birds. Let's go to the other girl. This is some girl. My wife was showing me the other day. She may have made her stuff private, but she a hoochie mama. They be making their stuff private and getting exposed. She a hoochie mama. This one right here. I should show her stuff. She got all kind of pictures of her looking nasty. But anyway, girl, F off. Your choice of word, unfortunate as your looks. Talking about her looks. And this is just other comments that people have said. Well, was it the man who killed his son? So it's justified if the man killed his son. At least we got one person that got comments says the ignorance in these comments. Eye for an eye. Good day, y'all. Free that man. You take mine, I take yours.
But it can't be an eye for an eye. This is the black community. They all in Officer Tatum's comment section acting a fool. It can't be an eye for an eye. Oh, it's all good if that man was the one who deleted his son. Yeah, but y'all, you saying it's good, it's not good. Take Heed doesn't agree with it. But y'all saying it's all good. This is jungle justice, but it's not. Larry Henderson was an innocent bystander. He didn't do anything. He worked for the college. He has never done a beat since he retired. So this man was not responsible. Dennis, thank you for becoming a Take Heed member. I appreciate you, baby. He was not responsible. Jayla Ross said we don't have enough people to be eyeing for an eye. The black community doesn't want that. Now, I said the same thing, Jayla Ross. I said the same thing. Because if we gonna do an eye for an eye, y'all gonna have to turn around and start deleting your own that's in the community. Because there's a lot of young men in our community and young women who sell peace be stills, who sell drugs in the community that had deleted some of y'all children. So if you gonna do an eye for an eye, you gonna have to take it out on some people in the community who was out there on the corner selling drugs and deleted a lot of y'all mothers, fathers, daughters, granddaughters, grandsons, sons as well. So, come on now. Anyway, let's get back. Here we go.
Karmic times. I get it. May God have mercy on his soul. The father died when his son was killed. Not one person is talking about that boy had a gun and pointed at the police officers. Well, nobody wanted something from the gas station, so she's saying it don't matter. She don't care. Start this hero a GoFundMe. This woman is saying he's a hero. What do y'all want to say? Y'all want to keep going down? How can it?
And I want y'all to understand this. The father is not a hero. I don't care how y'all try to shake it, sugarcoat it, turn it around, run it down the street. The father is not a hero. Now, was he hurt? Yes. But that doesn't mean you go out and take someone's life. He's not a hero. The black community, that's one thing I get mad with y'all. My brothers and sisters, this is one thing I get mad with y'all when we get up here and we co-sign foolery. When we co-sign nonsense. Why do Take Heed get mad with her community so much? It's because you're the original. You're the standard. That's what it used to be. We were the standard in marriage. We were the standard in raising children. We were the standard when it came to men being upstanding. We were the standard when it came to women being upstanding. We were the standard. We are no longer the standard. We talked about in every community. You understand? You understand? We are talked about in every community. We are the standard. We are the original. And now we do shit that the devil himself has never seen. When it comes to horrifying things that happen to people, when it comes to, and I know I'm just going to tap in just a little bit, when it comes to our men doing anything to women, any type of evil, the R word, anything to men, anything to women, children, all these things like that, we are the last in the totem pole. This is how it tells you how pure our community is. When it comes to horrifying situations of hurting someone, we are the last on the totem pole because we are the original. When it comes to the R word with our men are 15 to 16%. Every other culture is in their 50s and 60s. Who are the real savages? I'm just saying, who are the real evil ones? I'm just saying, okay? We are the originals, and it's no shot at any other culture. I'm not being mean to y'all, but I'm just saying we are the standard. So there's a lot of things that Yahweh is going to get us for because we are the original. You are the eldest. You must teach the rest. You know, the eldest must be the one that always set the mark. That's what it used to be. But we are no longer. We do the most dumbest shit. We do the most dumbest shit in our community. And everybody getting there like, yeah, that's right. Who would have thought that this makes sense, that we clapping and we happy about someone losing their life? Who would have thought that? That's not the thing. We should not be happy that this man lost his life talking about an eye for an eye when the father got the wrong person. This is not jungle justice. The father chose the wrong person. Larry Henderson is gone because the father was heartbroken that his son was taken. That's not how you handle that, baby. That's not how you do that. My brothers and sisters, I know y'all mad with me and like, oh, you don't speak for the black community. I don't speak for the black community. I don't. I speak for Take Heed. I speak for Take Heed, and I will get out here and I will preach, not preach, but I will get out here and speak and talk my shit. It's wrong. It's wrong. Let's continue. Here we go.
Meditated if it wasn't the cop who actually killed his son. Come on, I want to help y'all. This ain't all black people. I hope that most black people ain't silly like this. But while we got it up, just move it off the screen and look up Aaron Spears. Aaron Spears. It's the clip that I sent you. That was his profile. Go to his profile because I want people to see. Can I type it? Or all right. I want people to see that comedian that we shared this clip. See how Spears. There you go. Ari Spears. Now go to his, pull it up. I used to love Ari Spears. He was one of the best comedians. I still think he's funny. But he got 1.3 million subscribers. And look at what he posted about it. Here you go. This is where we got the clip from. He posts a black father in America, KKK, putting KKK in there, in America. Look at their faces. You can feel the racism. Still slave patrols. This man is a celebrity. This man is a comedian. Most black people in America love Ari Spears. Look at what he posted. He posted, let's see. I think he said, my man said enough with the praying and the marching. As if he's supportive of the conduct. And then of course I called him out. I said, bro, what are you doing? His son fled a stolen vehicle and pulled a gun on police. You tripping. And I just posted this like 20 minutes ago. And I got 200 likes and I got 55 comments. Let's see what one of the comments are, and we will see if people have common sense whatsoever. I hope to God that they do. I haven't looked at it yet. White men still lead the pack by rates of death by police. Y'all just buying media tricks. He agreed. Because we have 5 times more people than blacks. What a stupid comment. The ratio doesn't support your claim. Do some research. I don't know who they're talking about. Ari Spears responded to me. And white dudes do it all the time, and yet they still get to see their next birthday. What are you talking about? Ari Spears, if you see this video, what are you talking about, bro? Because a white man do it all the time. Do you know how many unarmed white people that get shot by police? Like, I don't get what they're saying. It don't justify whatsoever what this guy had done. But to people of the melanin, it does. Well, white people do it all the time and they fine. No, bro. That boy put a gun on a cop, and his daddy killed a cop that had nothing to do with this. Do we have a GoFundMe for Deputy Henderson? Maybe I'll start a fund for Deputy Henderson's family. But Deputy Henderson, in case I was running my mouth too much, you didn't catch it. He actually had recently retired. He was respected by the force. And that's why you see most people on the force standing behind in solidarity to support their officer that was killed unnecessarily.
But it's not, and then this is the thing, I get mad with the content creators as well, but it's not the police force. Those people who were standing behind him, behind the father at the courthouse, these were sheriffs. Okay? You ever, when you go to the courthouse, right? The sheriff don't look like when they put on a uniform when they outside, right? They look like they look like cop uniforms, right? These are sheriffs that are standing behind the father. So this is not no KKK stuff and all this other foolery. This is sheriffs standing behind the father because this is one of their fallen that they loved, and that's why they're there staring the father down, because of the heartbreak that they lost a good one. This is not the police department and any of that. This is the sheriff department. Even sisters was in that lineup too. Brothers was in that lineup too. Let's continue. Commercial. It's sad, y'all. It's sad. I know we taking long on it, but I just wanted y'all to hear a little tidbit of Officer Tatum. I don't, a lot of the stuff that he says is hard to take in, but my brothers and sisters, the truth is the truth. When your children are not raised properly, when your children are doing nonsense and we get in here and we say, you know what I'm saying? When we get in here and we say, my child was perfect, my child didn't do all these things, this and that they're saying, and allegedly Ryan had a gun. Because I want to say allegedly because the video footage was horrible. You couldn't see anything. So I want to say allegedly. But when they dissect this video and get another look at this thing and break it down, and if Ryan didn't have no peace be still, and just because the one cop heard gun, 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 and he didn't see it, that cop is done. That cop is done. Okay, Steven said, my baby ain't do nothing. That's what they say. That's what they say. Okay, Jayla Ross said, I saw a sister wrapping a wrap on her head, but they will skip by that. Yes, honey, you right about that. You right about that. I saw a sister wearing a wrap on her head, but they will skip by that. Let's continue. What you mean by that, Jayla Raw?
That this is even a thing. It's a shame that we have this going on again. Let's show the GoFundMe. Because somehow, some way, they didn't put up a GoFundMe, but it got taken down, thank God. Now, I wouldn't be shocked if they did a Give, Send, Go. Ari Spears responded like that. I can't believe it. Let's pull it up on my screen so I can see it. So, his son looked like a thug. They raised $500. His goal was $50,000. But obviously, GoFundMe took the thing down.
Now, the son don't look like a thug. He doesn't look like a thug. I saw the picture. He doesn't look like a thug. That part is not correct. But the boy wear, you know how they wear the pants hanging all the way down and stuff like that. The boy wear his pants off his behind. But he doesn't look like a thug. If you look at his face, he doesn't look like a thug. So that's not, in the video of all the officers, okay, that she had her hair wrapped. Yeah, there was a lot of black women and black men in that lineup too. But they like to just focus on the news or something else. The news just will focus on the white people, Let's just focus. I ain't lying to you, okay? I ain't lying to you. They will just focus on the white people and say, oh, this is KKK. You know what I'm saying? They only, this is another KKK, because they want to push that narrative. Look at all the white people with the mean faces and stuff. But there was black brothers and sisters that was upset too, okay? They face was straight too. So they only focus, they only put the camera in so you just see the white people upset. Oh, all the white people upset. The black people was mad too, okay? I'm just saying, because y'all be pushing this narrative and stuff. Because I'm going to share something with you. If I was a sheriff and one of my own got taken down, I would be pissed too. I would be up there in that lineup with them. I would be pissed too. Because we all on the same team. I would be pissed too. Let's continue. Here we go.
But this is what we're up against. I want y'all to show me a situation, and this is why I talk about the ignorant black folks. Maybe when I say black people, I'm gonna say the ignorant black people. Show me a white man, that son was fleeing in a stolen vehicle, shot at the police, pulled a gun on the police, and then their daddy killed a cop because he mad. I can't find a situation like this. It's wrong, it's double wrong.
You're right about that part.
Justice for Rodney Hinton Jr. and his son. Why does your son have a stolen or illegal gun to start with is a problem? Why is your son in a stolen vehicle? Why when they pull the vehicle over, your son don't comply, he runs and he does not listen to commands? Let's go to the body camera.
And this is the thing, Ryan had a part where he could have complied when he fell. You understand? When he fell, he could have complied then. Because he fell. While he was trying to run, he fell. I would have just, you fell. That's it. Why am I continuing to run? You fell. Boom. And I'm going to share something with you. I know this is wrong what I'm about to say, but I'd have left the gun in the car. Because there was 4 of them there. I'd have left the gun in the car. I would have said it ain't mine. One of the guys gave it to me. It touched my hand and I dropped it. You know what I'm saying? I'd have said that. I'm just saying, I know it's wrong. Like, take heed, damn, yeah. But I would have just laid on the floor. Like, you already fell. Like, how can you really get up and still run? You know what I'm saying? You already caught. But I understand they was all asleep. They woke up. The police surrounded them. That would have been just time to give up, because you just waking up. You're not going to get, that body is not going to be able to get out like it need to, because you just woke up. So the adrenaline, the blood is not pumping. You wouldn't have been able to get away too far anyway. Y'all just woke up. All of y'all was asleep in the car. Anyway, let's continue. Here we go.
We don't have the full body camera. I'm gonna do a FOIA request to try to see if I can get body camera and case reports. Let's go to the body camera that we had from the news article. All right, pull it up real quick. Now, the body camera doesn't show everything, but the body camera will show in part that there was a stolen vehicle and there was a pursuit that took place and a shooting. Roll the clip.
Price Hill condos Thursday morning. Cincinnati officers tracked down a stolen vehicle.
As you know, we had a critical incident yesterday.
4 people get out and start running. In body cam footage released today, in just 6 seconds, police say 18-year-old Ryan Hinton aims his gun at officers. He's got a gun! Police shoot and kill him. Today on MLK Drive, a deputy is working traffic control for UC graduation when a driver crashes into him.
There is a connection between these two incidents. The driver of today's vehicle that struck a deputy has a family relationship with the 18-year-old that we shot yesterday.
Chief, is the person who hit the deputy the father of the person who was shot yesterday?
Yes.
Ryan Hinton's father, 38-year-old Rodney Hinton, is charged with aggravated murder in the deputy's death. He was taken to University Hospital in critical condition. Hours later, the Hamilton County Sheriff's deputy dies. The CPD homicide unit investigating both the death of the deputy killed today and the death of the 18-year-old shot by police.
I can assure you, as the chief of police for Cincinnati, I will ensure you transparency and a thorough and accurate investigation.
Let me say something. I want to stick my middle finger up at this woman, but I didn't hear the full press conference. But what I will say is it's funny that...
And this is why we need to do research. And now I understand what people used to say to me back in the day. Take heed, research, research, research. Now I understand. Because before I was just talking about topics about relationship and stuff like that. But then when I started getting like into serious stuff like this, and relationships are serious, but they're actually just life lessons that I learned that I try to pass on to the younger generation and women who still think, you know, that they the shit, you know. But when I started getting into deeper stuff, people was like, take heed, you have to do research, because here you go, a content creator right now. Shout out to Officer Tatum, I still like him. But he's saying he wish he could put his middle finger up at this, you know, this captain. And she didn't do anything wrong. She handled this press conference as best as she could with the information that she got until they can dissect that video properly. Okay? Because the promise she told her state, her town, her state, everything, that she would release this stuff on time. So she trying to put this stuff together as quick as she can so she don't have an uprising in her town. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. Here we go. State. I'm sorry.
When a cop shoot a black kid, and I'm telling you this, most of these chiefs can't wait to come out and say, this was wrong, this is not a representation of our department, we need policy change. And they're simping. They're literally simping for the incident. But then they can't simp this time because the black man ran over a cop for no reason. And so now they got to say, we're going to exclude it. No, I want you, Chief, I want you to come out and I want you to say, this is ridiculous. We don't need this violence in the community. Let us do our job. Let us do an investigation. This father should be ashamed of himself for taking matters into his own hands and running over one of our deputies who just retired and had nothing to do with the situation. And you killed a good man. Why can't the mother freaking chief stand on 10 toes and stand up for your officers?
She did.
They'll throw you under the bus, but they won't stand up for you.
She didn't.
That man had a good reputation, according to what I've seen, and he didn't have nothing to do with the shooting. He's not the one that shot that boy.
No, that's true.
But since they white, he want to run them down. I think it's a racial matter. I don't know that to be true. It's not verifiably factual, but I'm just saying what my hunch is. Because look at the way people are framing it, even in the comments.
I don't think it's a racial matter. I think the father thought he was justified in deleting the sheriff officer. I don't think it's a racial thing. I think if it was a black woman out there, he would have ran her over too. Okay, he just was putting in his mind, you took out mine, I'm gonna take out yours, but he still got the wrong department. It wasn't even the sheriff. I'm just saying, okay. Even if he got the right department, it's still been bad. But I'm just letting y'all know. I don't think it's a racial thing. Here we go.
The white man, they did it to ours, we're gonna do it to them. This is why that community ain't gonna make it. Only individuals will make it off of this sinking ship. Scroll through real quick and make sure it's worth me watching. All right, pull it up. Let's see. Look like we do have a body worn camera. Let's see. This will give me a little more clarity. Now, I'll say this. If the cops are wrong, that still doesn't give you the right to run over some random cop because you're mad. All right, let's see. Roll it.
So you did the thing. Or
no matter what type of footage they got from that body cam from the one officer, it's not gonna be good. It was horrible. Even though he got something right now, it's gonna be horrible. They need the body footage from all of them and everything, because the one that was running, this wasn't good at all. They trying to show what happened.
He's got a gun on your right, He's got a gun.
He's got a gun on your right, Which right? Who's he talking about?
It's like the Blair Witch Project, man. God dang.
It's bad. You can't see it. You can see when Ryan falls out of the car. You can see when he falls, or like he's not by the car because he's between those two dumpsters. You can see when he falls, but you can't see, you know what I'm saying? It's not clear. So I don't know about the gun thing. I'm just saying it looked cray-cray. Let's continue. Here we go.
The individual is running with a firearm in his hand. The officer is running, so the body camera is kind of jolting as the officer's running. What that leaves us with is a very blurred image, unfortunately.
Yeah.
However, based on the officer's interviews, the officer who did discharge his firearm said that when the individual came out between the dumpsters, he had the firearm in front of him. It was in like a bladed position, and it was pointed at the officer. And he felt threatened for his life, and that's why he discharged his firearm. So that officer who fired was actually chasing a different suspect.
I don't believe the blading position. You know what I'm saying? Like a blading position is like, you like on the side or something like that. I don't believe that he was, on the side. I don't believe that. Looks crazy. Like if I'm trying to shoot at someone, right? Okay. Even thugs know this too. You need to have both hands on the piece be still. So bladed position is you got, one hand on the piece be still. I guess you leaning it, cocking it. I don't know why y'all use a piece be still like that. You leaning it and cocking it. It doesn't do anything. It's going to the gun is just gonna bounce. It's not gonna hit nobody. Okay? So anyway, it's not gonna hit the target you want. So anyway, let's go.
Countered the individual armed with a firearm. And again,
so it looked like it stopped there.
6 seconds. So for them to process and determine a different course of action, I think is unreasonable.
Okay, I think that covered it. Now, let me say this. I'm gonna take my statement back from that lady because I didn't watch the full press conference. I just get emotional when I think about these innocent men and women who get killed for no reason. The man just retired and he got ran over because his son wanted to be a thug. Now go back to the body worn camera because I think that's one point that was very important. Let's go back real quick to the very beginning of what you just played.
Okay, Jalen.
Because they show a clip of him initially with the gun in his hand. Now I'm gonna explain this to you guys in two ways. I'm gonna explain the way in which people may think it's unjustified, and I'm gonna show the way in which it could be justified based on what I'm observing. So as soon as we get back to the beginning, we'll roll the clip. We're working on it. Can you do it in the clip window at the bottom? Let's see if it loops. That's the beginning, right? Is that another clip?
I don't think it could be justified.
So we were having trouble getting the clip to rewind, but pretty much what happens is you see him when he get out of the car, he had a gun in his hand, they show the gun on the ground in his hand, and then he takes off running. Now, some people will say, well, he was running away and he wasn't a present threat, but you
can't see him with the gun. So that part, Officer Tatum, that's not, I beg to differ on that one. You can't see him with the gun. is like so blatant, like it's it look crazy. You can't see him having anything. Maybe like one of those satchels that the young kids wear. That's all I saw. But you can't see a piece be still in his hand. It wasn't clear enough. But anyway, let's let him continue to cook. Here we go.
The officer feels like his life is in danger, and that kid can turn the gun on him at any point, right? Because if you're not complying and you're fleeing, but the cop is catching you, the cop is in an advantage. The cop will corner you. Will you turn and pull the gun on the cop that's cornering you? That's the part that, listen, he got the gun in his hand, gets out of the car. It looked like he failed or something, so he got the gun in front of him. He's running. He encounters a cop. Whether he does this or whatever he does, the cop believes his life is in danger. Now, the kid had every opportunity to put the gun down.
He did.
So you can only assume, to a certain degree, what is he planning on doing with his gun? He got it in his hand. He could have left the gun in the car.
He could have.
Then therefore, when he running, he ain't got a gun on him.
Yeah.
Listen, they're fleeing. They're in a stolen vehicle or they're fleeing, one of the two. They get stopped. He got the gun on him. Throw the gun on the floor, boy, take off running. Therefore, when they catch you, you ain't got a gun. The gun is in the car. That was his gun. Your fingerprints on it. Nah, he handed it to me and I threw it down because it wasn't mine.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, you don't discard the gun, you don't throw it, you don't leave it, you got it in your possession, the cops are yelling at you, get on the ground, and you got the gun in your hand. And you know you got the gun in your hand. And you take off running with the gun in your hand. And when cops encounter you and tell you to drop the gun, and you refuse to drop, you're not dropping the gun. What are you going to do with that gun? They're running into a wooded area. What is your expectation that you are going to do with that gun? So when the cops encounter him, he could have got spooked and was like this. I don't know, we can barely see it.
Now he's saying the young man could have got spooked or anything like that. Yeah, he could have, but when he fell, that could have been the time to give up. You fell. You fell. Just let them, they was going to catch everybody anyway. They caught the other three. You know what I'm saying? And another thing too, I forgot his name yesterday. Tyler Publishing House, right? I was watching his content yesterday. Shout out to Tyler Publishing House. He said, it wasn't like he was going to turn around and use the gun. Who said he wasn't if he did have the gun? You know what I'm saying? So y'all can't justify it like that. He still had the piece be still. And you don't know where he would have got cornered at, that he would have turned the gun on the officer. So yes, I understand that part. But then no, you know what I'm saying? That it sounds cray-cray. It sounds cray-cray. No officer should let somebody run with a piece be still. Because wherever you hide at, you're going to start bucking off thinking that, I don't see it. It sounds crazy to let somebody run with a piece be still. Now, if he's running and he doesn't have a piece be still, somebody was going to catch him anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's different. So I just wish Ryan would have thought about that. Why do I have this gun? Let me drop this gun. You know what I'm saying? Let me do something. But he fell. I'd have just, gave up. You fell already. Where are you getting your, where are you getting, the mindset to run? You fell. You going to jail. You know what I'm saying? At least it just would have been because of the car was stolen. Okay? And the piece be still, if the piece be still wasn't there, it would have just been because the car was stolen. Now, I see what you put in here and said he was trying to find somewhere to sleep, this and that. They stole that car earlier. He wasn't trying to get in the house until about 12:01, 12:06. That's what the cousin said. So they stole that car earlier. That wasn't just, they stole it around 12. You know what I'm saying? They stole that car earlier in the day when they stole that car. That's how the police got the information. It couldn't have been, they just stole it and now, you know what I'm saying? Now they in some parking lot sleep. Anyway, let's continue. Here we go.
That kid can go from here to here real quick. That kid can go from here to turning and shooting at you. And you don't have to wait for most of that stuff to happen. And really, he shot him from the side, not necessarily in the back. Because when he first shot him, he was this way, and then he went like this. But a cop can get justified. Can be justified. Look, stop it, pause it. You see the gun. Everybody see the gun. They're pointing at the gun on the camera. And I fully request this body camera, so I'm going to be able to have a full body camera. We're going to watch it from start to finish with no... They probably blur him out, maybe. They may blur him out in the body camera. Sometimes they have to redact certain stuff. He got.
Now, in the video that Officer Tatum got right now, where they see Ryan picking up something, it doesn't look like a gun. It's blurry too. Like it, because the running is blurry too. So you don't know, just like you said, keeping it real, it might have been his cell phone that fell. Okay? So it doesn't look like a gun. Now, could it be it was his cell phone and they thought it was a gun? Maybe so. But we'll see. We'll see. Because I question the undercover cops being there, right? And I have some reservations about undercover cops. But I'm just saying that, you know, listen, it is what it is. Let's continue. Here we go.
In his hand. He's down on the ground. I don't know what he's doing. He could give up right here. He could surrender right here. If he didn't do nothing wrong, why he doing this? He got a gun that he could have left in the car, but he didn't. If he's not doing anything wrong, he could put his hands up right now, and he would never have a negative encounter with the police. They didn't shoot him right here, did they? Play the clip. Then he takes off running, and boom, it happens like this. It happens like this. Now, I got to be able to play the body on camera where we can adjust it, because I don't see where he pointed the gun. But then again, I'm looking at this thing on the camera, and I'm not in the middle of this grass with the body camera in my chest and how close he was to this guy. And when you're experiencing something like life and death, and it happens like this, and that cop could have saw that gun for a split second, dropped the gun, drop, boom, 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 boom. And that's how that happened. A father could be upset that his son was killed, especially that way. But a good father wouldn't have never let his kid get in that situation. And a good father, if his son is in that situation, he would be mindful that my son was wrong. I hate that he...
Now, I'm going to stop Officer Tatum there, okay? Because, and we're going to let the video, we're going to let that just subside. The thing is that the father probably was a good father, okay? Rodney probably was a good father, okay? He probably was a good father. The grandfather was an upstanding citizen. The father was an upstanding citizen. But where was the gap at? You understand? Where was the gap at when it came to Ryan? And I still believe the gap came on the mama side. Because we get in here and tell these black men, this my child. I'm going to do whatever I want to do with my child. You'll see the child when I feel like it. Okay? You ain't pay your child support on time. You can't see the baby. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, you ain't going to be spending time with my child. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. You ain't going to be telling me what to do. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and then this another thing, too. They're telling me, you got to fight to see your child. You got to fight to see your child, because I'm just not going to let you see your child the way you want to see your child. And this be the problem in our community, because now when the child becomes a monster to the community doing foolery because the daddy is not in his life like he need the daddy to be, okay? Now here comes the confusion, because sometimes a lot of men walk away from their children, and even though it's wrong and it's sad, but a lot of men walk away from their children because the baby mama don't bring peace. Every time he show up to pick the baby up, there's a problem. Every time he show up to an event, a school event, the child birthday, there's always some issue. When he want to take the child on a summer vacation and he already got the ticket and everything, then you got the mama talking about, oh no, my child is spending the night over so-and-so house. They not going with you. All the money daddy done spent for the vacation is going down the drain because he can't even bring his son with him. So he lose the money for the ticket, lose the money for the hotel and everything. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. So when I look at the family, the mother side, I see a lot of pain. I see a lot of young men who are not raised with their father, that they don't have a king mindset. I see that in her family. But this is the uncomfortable truth. He's wrong. The father is wrong. The father is wrong. This is the uncomfortable truth. Okay? This is the uncomfortable truth. The father is wrong. Okay? The father is dead wrong for deleting this sheriff deputy who had nothing to do with the death of his son. So I just want to share that with y'all, okay? I just want to share that with y'all. It was painful. We gonna get out of this whole conversation, and we gonna get back to our regular foolery that we usually do, and stuff like that. But it broke my heart. I was like, wow, that's so sad. It's crazy. You know what? We're not gonna get back to our regular foolery. I'm gonna close out. I'm gonna close out because I'm already 2 hours and 35 minutes and I'm starting to get more trolls in here. So I'm gonna close out. Everybody have a wonderful day. Thank you to everybody who donated to the channel. Thank you to everybody who took time to rock with me because you could have been anywhere else, but you said, let me see what this loudmouth heifer talking about. So I appreciate y'all, everybody who took time to be with me today. If you like the content, please like and subscribe to the page. Also donate to the page. If you want to donate, you can donate through Cash App. You can donate through Super Chat. You can donate through Venmo, okay, as well. If you want to shop with us, our family business is called ubandraxfashion.com, Mercari, POSHMARK, and eBay. Links are in my bio, okay? Best prices is ubandraxfashion.com. Also, if you want to buy merch, scroll to the top of the page. You will see Shop or Store. Thank you, Renee. Thank you so much. You will see Shop or Store. And keeping it real, I see what you wrote. My condolences, my dear. I'm sorry to hear that. If you want to buy merch, they got hoodies, shirts, mugs, water bottles, baby clothes, all that good stuff, y'all. And I'm just going to say thank you to everybody who showed up today. And thank you for rocking with me. I know I get in here and I be long-winded. So I appreciate y'all for stopping by and hitting that like and subscribe button. Okay? Thank you so much. Okay? And we're going to go out just with a little something. Here we go.
I'ma do it. Yeah, young people ain't no.
I know we going to hell. I know we going to hell for playing this song. God forgive us. But Lord, this song is funny. Here we go.
If y'all don't mind, let's have a little church right now. Right now. Something about that brain. It's something about my little eater. Something about my main eater. It's something about my little